to go. We're recording.
All right, we're recording, folks. Welcome. Right. We're calling it Radio Yo-Yo for now. We need an intro music. So if anyone is musically inclined out there, I want a song. I was thinking, that song, Bow Wow Wow, Yippee Yo, Yippee Yay. But you know that song? No, but I wanted that song, but I want it to be Radio Yo Yo Yo. Like something with the radio, yo, 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 yippee. Something like that.
Sounds awful.
Sounds horrible, but I like it. And
I can't even think of a funny song for now for what would be the intro.
Tool Time theme song, maybe?
What about, some like royalty free, like incredibly corny, like
rock.
Like
Purple Haze.
The Thrasher skateboard site does this weekly news clip video, and the intro has this really cool news theme. It's like it is really nice, but like I found out that it's just like the stock news theme music. It's on like iMovie or whatever, and I was like, son of a bitch! Like
that's funny.
Great.
All right, well, I want a theme song. That's a serious request, so anyone hit me up, and then I'm going to introduce today's guest. He's already here on the screen. But he's a multi-time national champion,
me,
right?
Yeah.
World champion.
I thought you were talking about Trevor for a
second. I know. God, get it straight. This isn't your show. This is Radio Yo. It's me and Trevor interviewing Tyler Severance, everyone. Clap, Trevor.
Trevor, that's a really nice microphone.
Yeah,
wow.
Thank you. Sorry, I didn't realize you're...
Yes.
We're micless over here today, so.
Yeah.
And we're recording this on Skype because apparently Zoom you have to pay for, so we're doing Skype again. But I think this setup already feels good and better than the last episode. You got the nice mic, the headphones. We're looking pro. We're on Tyler's laptop here in Allentown, Pennsylvania. Trevor's out in Idaho.
I feel like Trevor's making love to me.
Or no, I always think you're in Boise, Idaho because of your last name. I always get confused, dude. But it's Saturday night. Saturday is for the Boice, right?
Yes.
How often do you hear that?
Yeah.
You hear that a lot?
I mean, back when the Saturdays are for the boys meme was hot. Yeah.
What happened to that? Is it not hot anymore?
I thought it was hot, yeah.
I mean, it's no longer 2017.
Did all the dudes get me too'd so you can't do anything on Saturday anymore?
Yeah.
But cracking open a cold one with the Boice.
Oh, cracking open a... Hey, nice. What you got? Modelo? Dark Modelo?
I do, yeah. I get a
nice, dude.
Yeah.
I've never had the dark Modelo.
A word you can't say, Modelo.
Yeah, it's close enough where I don't.
All right. This is a yo-yo podcast, okay?
That's what the brown ones are called. I think they're all called that, actually.
Oh, yeah, Negra. Yeah.
Whoa.
Sorry.
Speaking of which, did you guys see this AI rapper that got signed this week?
Unbelievable.
Yeah, this white guy wrote up some AI and made it feels like an NFT kind of adjacent.
It's the same company that made the company that Nike bought, the Riftka or whatever. I don't know how to pronounce it, but
okay.
The best part is one of the creators was a vocalist in a nu metal band in the early 2000s called E-Town Concrete, which is Elizabethtown, New Jersey.
Oh, wow.
So it's like a semi-local nu metal band, and he would say the N-word in his nu metal songs as a white guy.
What the fuck?
So now it's not a stretch for him to have created a black rapper that he is he doesn't do the voice for, but he writes the music for it.
Yeah.
And it's chock full of the N-word, and that's why they got kicked off Capitol Records, because they realized this is two white guys doing blackface on the internet.
The other thing, the bar itself is an ironic reference of the N-word. So even if they were to argue that the lyrics were AI generated, that's even scarier, because it's do computers understand irony on their own now?
Just an absurd world we live in. Absolutely absurd.
Trevor, can computers get erections yet?
Yes.
My computer is bricked up right now. That's what this big black microphone is.
Jesus. All right. Well, let's try to get some yo-yo talk here.
All my topics are
How-
not yo-yo related. I'm sorry.
How did you start yo-yoing, Tyler? Well, how'd you get in it? Because I know you got into it before I did, but like you got into it during the boom.
Yeah, the first time I started yo-yoing was in 1998.
Damn.
Yeah, and it was when it was really popular.
So you had a brain or a Omega probably?
Yeah, I had a knockoff brain. Yeah, it wasn't even a real brain.
Damn,
it was like
couldn't even
a
get the real
knockoff
brain down in
I was
Wilmington.
poor. I couldn't afford the OR.
Wow.
They made knockoff brains.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah, dude. Because that
Whoa.
shit was so popular that, like, of course.
It's like a knockoff Hubstack yo-yo, you know what I mean? They're like, oh, this is like the most poppin' yo-yo thing right now, so we'll just knock it off. And it was just like a cheap Chinese yo-yo. Sorry, what were you saying?
Okay.
Yeah, but there wasn't like a lot of resources to learn. Like I would just scour every library I went to, and I would just read every yo-yo book that I could possibly
The
find.
trick books, that's a lost art. Those were interesting, with just little diagrams of a couple tricks like Eiffel Tower and things like that. But
they're hard to learn. Like the diagrams are very hard to break down. Like even if you read them bit by bit, it's not the same as watching someone do it and then have the tutorial described step by step. When you're reading and then just watching a diagram and the picture, it's not.
You got to fill in all the blanks
right,
between each thing, so that's really tricky.
I understand why yo-yo was so shit for 100 years.
So that's a common story. You got into it during the boom, but when do you remember the first time you got a ball bearing yo-yo or saw like modern yo-yoing as we know it today? Do you remember when that happened for you?
So for my like 9th birthday, my dad took me to like the local hobby store and bought me a Raider.
Nice.
It was like fucking $30. It was so much money. It was
insane.
Yeah.
They could charge whatever they wanted because it was so hot.
It's so funny that bearing, do you remember when bearings, you probably don't because it was back in the day, but bearings would be like $25-$30. It was like as much as the yo-yo was because like you said, they could charge whatever they wanted to. But he took me to buy a Raider, and I got a Raider. I got one of those Omega slings too.
Nice, dude. Those are sick.
Dope, yeah.
Kanye released his own version of that sling, basically. Have you seen that?
No.
It's like a snake. He calls it like the snake bag.
That's
but
tight
it's like
as
a
fuck,
$150 like thing that goes around like this, which is it's really minimal with a zipper.
No,
it reminds me of that Omega thing.
Damn,
actually.
That's rad. And then after I kind of maxed out, I like learned how to do trapeze and double or nothing and all the rock the baby.
All on the Raider, huh?
Yeah.
Nice.
I mean, I eventually got like a silver bullet and a cold fusion, and I got like all the possible yo-yo. I got a cherry bomb and like a renegade and a saber raider and all the yo-yos you could get back then. Yeah, but like the tricks, it was 1999, 2000, like. They were happening, but like you had to be in the know. Like I went to one yo-yo club one time and I learned like Eiffel Tower, and that was like the most difficult yo-yo trick that the guy at the yo-yo club knew. But so after I kind of tapped out of learning what was the max you can learn at the time without having like a broadband internet connection or like a connection to another yo-yo club, and I started like skateboarding and doing all that kind of stuff you do when you're like 11, 12 years old. There was like a Fast 201 promotion a couple years later in 2005. Yeah. Like when Hasbro
when it came out, that was huge.
Yeah, and
it was the Fast Challenge.
Yeah, I saw Ben doing boingy boing on TV.
Yeah, I remember that
elaborate
commercial.
on the Fast Challenge though for everyone.
So the Fast Challenge, the Fast 201 was this. I wish I had one to show because it's a weird yo-yo. It had the idea, I guess, was that when it's spinning at high RPMs, the starbursts move outward with the centrifugal force a little bit. Right? Because they were loose in there.
Supposed to be, yeah, but
it didn't really work.
Yeah, it didn't.
So it had huge aggressive starbursts in this thing, but they had like a little bit of give to them.
Right, yeah, I think it was more
of the give.
It was hard to know from the packaging because, like you said, they would describe
it. It took me a long time to put it together.
But it wouldn't describe like did they flex because the string forced them out of the way? I remember one time. Sorry,
that's what I came up with was like you throw it hard and it sort of moves outwards a little with the force, but that probably is bad science. I don't know if that's true or not.
Anytime I would ask Hans to clarify these things, he would I just don't think he thought I was very smart. So maybe
because it was fully active starburst technology.
Imagine if they called it fully active response technology.
Fart. Damn, he's quick.
That was a Danny joke,
So-
which he
was
told
it?
he told Hans that. He's like, I never thought of that. That's a good one. And he was like, really? And he's like, no, never. Like, I've never ever thought of that. And we were like, are you being like joking with us?
Yeah,
right
yeah.
now? Like, he's like, no,
That's incredible.
I never make fart jokes. And it's like, how the fuck? But I asked that one time because we got a batch of yo-yos in from China and all the pads were like slightly askew in them. And I was like, look, as soon as a kid like throws it down for the first time and the string rolls back up the proper way, it's going to push the pads into place. So as soon as where they need to go. And then he was like, oh yeah, that makes sense. And like we did it with a couple of them, it worked and it was totally fine. And I was like, isn't that what happens with the Fast 201 technically? Like the string kind of moves the starburst out of the way? And he was like, yes.
I think,
I'd be like, what the fuck?
so
like,
I think we
all
can
right,
safely
cool.
say no one knows what that did, but it was a good catchy name, kind of. And they had the fast challenge where it was 10 tricks that you
Yeah.
had to do as fast as you could. So it was like throwing thing, breakaway, trapeze, double or nothing, and then it ended with skyrockets.
I wish I had a yo-yo right now because people would do the crazy. They would do rock the baby, but then like instead of letting the yo-yo rock, they would go
rock
underneath.
their. Paul Hahn was obviously a natural at the fast challenge. He was really sick at it. I think he won like thousands of dollars. I think he won.
Yeah.
They had they would set up these challenges you could go to and actually win money if you were the fastest. So there was commercials on like Cartoon Network.
They gave away Ben's car at one point.
Really?
Yeah.
That's so weird.
At Worlds.
So this was Yo-Yo Factory. Yo-Yo Factory was the Fast 201, and that's it. People
But Hasbro,
don't
like
realize.
the company that makes like Monopoly and shit, they licensed the Fast 201 design.
Yeah.
And then everyone that carried Hasbro products, they were able to also carry the Fast 201. So like you could go to Walmart and buy a Fast 201. You could go to Target and buy a Fast 201. And
Yep, they were everywhere. They had pretty cool packaging.
Eventually they had a off-string yo. Do you remember that?
Yeah.
I don't know if you could buy that in a regular
bad.
store, but it was made by Hasbro for a short period of time.
Yeah. I think it was the one that had off-string rings, and then you could put regular rings to make. It was a bad.
It was
yo-yo.
very bad.
I have one somewhere, but Yo-Yo Factory, yeah, that's like my first recollection of Yo-Yo Factory was the Fast Challenge and the really shitty Fast 201 yo-yo.
Yeah. So when I saw that commercial, Ben was doing boingy boing in the commercial, and I was like, oh, I want to learn how to do that trick, and I pulled out all my yo-yos, like my KC Omega yo-yos, and like trying to do it, but couldn't learn it because boingy boing's hard. You can't just do the back and forth. You got to do like the up and down motion to really get it to boing back and forth. So I like Googled yo-yo and like found that there is actually a yo-yo club nearby, Mitchell's, and like before I even went, I was like scheming in a way. I was like, yo, I bet they have like a yo-yo team. I bet like I could get on their yo-yo team and get like discounts and stuff. I was so trash. I like just started yo-yoing again. I'm like, oh, like I could do like a couple off-string tricks, and like I was learning how to yo-yo again, and I'm like, oh, like I bet no one there is really good. And AJ was there, everyone's there. I was like, man, everyone here is really good.
Right. So AJ was
such a conceited
and
asshole
now
little kid.
Was Danny, for people who don't know, you had your brother, he passed, named Danny Severance, was just as involved in the yo-yo community as you were.
Yeah, but not at first.
Not at first. He was later.
It was quick. Like it was probably I went to Yo-Yo Club alone for maybe like a month, like 4 times, and then Danny started to come with, and then like everyone like started to teach him, and like I don't really remember him learning at the same time because I was so focused on learning independently. But like we learned pretty much at the same time, you know what I mean? And like obviously he started to get more creative and like do cooler things than I did, but trick wise. But yeah, he started yo-yoing like right around the same time that I did again, and like it was weird because we, like I said, we started skateboarding. We were like really into punk rock and shit, and like I don't know how involved. You guys probably coming from smaller towns had friends like this, or you all are of similar age, where like everyone at that time was just like hitting each other in the dick and like calling each other gay and like using the F
it was a very
Bam
Margera South Park influence.
Yeah, exactly.
The world,
and it's like not a very welcoming environment. So like I think at first Danny was kind of like, oh, I don't want to like go, because we had just stopped kind of skateboarding as much because all of our skateboard friends got like heavy into drugs, and one of them got like their girlfriend's pregnant, and like it was just gnarly at the time. So it was like I started yo-yoing a lot, and then like when I invited him, I think he was a little bit apprehensive, but like that was almost kind of like I remember saying that almost verbatim to him, like, no one even tries to like hit you in the balls here or anything. Like, what a pitch for Yo-Yo Club, right?
People are nice.
Yeah, exactly. One time we were hanging out with Seth and Dave and a bunch of other guys, and Seth like reached across to like put something on a desk or something, and I was like yo-yoing right next to him, so my crotch was like right at the level he was grabbing for, and I like scooted back and like covered my genitals as if he was gonna like punch me in the dick, and he was like, "What are you doing?" And I was like, "Oh, I thought you were gonna hit me in the dick," and he was like, why would I ever do that? Like, why would I want to do, like, wouldn't that really hurt you? Like, why would I ever hit you in the dick? And
That's
I was
so
like,
funny. You had like PTSD.
yeah, that's a good point. I was like 15.
Yeah.
Like, yeah, exactly. PTSD. Like,
Wow.
they were just like, why would anyone ever do that to you? And me and Danny had to explain to him, like, yeah, that was just something that, like, our friends and we did. Like,
it's funny you said Danny was apprehensive at first, because I feel like all the way through the whole time I knew him, he was sort of that way about yo-yoing. He was like, why are we even doing this anyway? Like, this, you realize this is stupid, right? Like, he sort of, I mean, maybe I'm wrong, but
no,
like,
you're totally right. Yeah.
he sort of had that attitude, which was great. It was like refreshing and funny, but he'd be like,
You came into it, Jay.
When you were winning contests and I was winning, and he wasn't, because he wasn't even competing, but he'd be like, you guys are fucking kind of lame. Like, look at you up on stage, like dancing around.
You up on
You know,
stage.
I don't know.
No,
I always
right.
got that vibe from him, which I
Yeah.
appreciated, because it was like, you're just a really cool, chill ass dude. And
Like, I
you're
don't
still, but he could back it up with his yo-yo skills. Like,
Yeah.
he was still so fucking good.
Like, I don't think when I won Worlds, he, like, said congratulations.
Oh.
Or, like, not, like, in a bad...
Yeah,
it's
yeah,
like,
yeah.
we were, like, brothers, so it's like,
Right.
you know, you're...
No, I'm sure he
We
had
lived
like
together.
something sarcastic to say to you, like,
I think he called
this other
like,
guy should have won or some shit.
Yeah,
Some shit like that I could see him saying.
No, but it was good. Like, it was good times. But yeah, it was, I don't know. Like, he had a very real, I don't want to say realistic, but he just looked at shit for what it was.
Right,
So it's
yeah.
like, what the fuck are we doing right now? We often
Exactly.
say the same thing. So.
Yeah, absolutely.
But yeah, after we started going to Yo-Yo Club at Mitchell's a lot, I just like really fell in love with it. They had a trick list there, which I'm sure you're familiar with, but
Yeah.
like they basically had but did they have a trick list at Go Big, Trevor?
Not that I'm aware of.
All the sports ladder tricks, like.
I mean, they probably did for like clubs that they had, but
Right.
whenever I would just like hang out with like Robbie and like not really. I wasn't like paying too close of attention. There may very well have been, but not that I'm aware of.
No, I feel you.
Yeah.
Sox Go Big didn't last.
Yeah, you know.
Was that a toy store?
Yeah, it was Ben Condi's dad's toy store. It was the first time I ever met Trevor.
Yeah.
But I didn't remember.
I think the Yo-Yo Factory tour.
Nice.
Yeah.
I didn't realize Ben Condi was from.
It was a drive, right? It's like 2 hours away from you, Trevor.
Yeah, Kansas City's like 3.
Oh,
it's
3
Kansas.
hours. Jesus Christ.
Got it. Interesting.
Sorry, you'll hear this?
Yeah, what was that?
Oh, it's like thundering right now here real bad.
Got a big. That's crazy. You got a big storm of brewing.
Yeah.
There's like big storms out there, right?
Yeah, you got tornadoes and shit, don't you?
Oh, yeah. When I was growing up, we had a tree like fall diagonally across our backyard from like a tornado.
Whoa.
Yeah.
Did you ever have to cower in the basement with your whole family?
I had to do that one.
Sometimes, yeah. Like, it's like we would hang out in the basement if it like got real bad.
You would entertain them with yo-yo tricks while everyone was scared.
I think the time I started yo-yoing, there weren't any like aren't happening that much anymore.
Just doing double or nothing repeaters. Like, this is just how John Benet Ramsey died.
Jesus Christ. Oh my God.
In the basement.
Oh, is that? I know who John Benet is, but I don't know like how she died.
She died in a basement with a string, right?
Yeah, she got strangled to death, I guess. We don't know who did it, though.
Her brother, probably.
Yeah.
It was that guy that died in the car with Princess Diana. I forget his whole
Prince
name. Dodi.
Dodi.
I forget where he's from. Fahifah, yeah.
He's like Muslim, I think. Yeah. Some kind of.
Oh. There were multiple deaths in Princess Diana in that crash.
Huh?
There were what?
No, like someone else died in that.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah,
the dude
driver,
that she was
her dating.
Yeah.
Okay.
It's like a Middle Eastern prince of some kind.
That's the big conspiracy
That's why they
theory.
say the queen killed her because he didn't know that she was dating not her son anymore.
Whoa.
That's why that one redhead, bald one, the son left to the UK because he married a mixed girl.
Jesus.
Oh, yeah. I guess,
He's gonna get taken out.
yeah.
I'm sorry, Jake.
Let's see here. So you're going to club in this early 2000s.
2005, yeah.
2005 already.
Yeah, I competed in my
Damn.
first contest at that one.
So yeah,
States we
it's
talked about.
very quick from there. Then 2 years later, you're
I
world
wanted
champion.
to compete immediately. Like I was, because AJ was there, John Robb was there, like, and when you like have a sibling that Danny and I were like 14 months apart, and like Danny didn't care about competing at all, but like that kind of made me care about it even more because it was something I could excel at and like we didn't clash with. I don't know.
Yeah.
It's interesting to think about, like the duality of psychology between like why I would do that and why I wouldn't.
Scared the shit out of me.
No, me too. I wondered.
Screen just went black, and I was like,
It was just my screensaver, but like
Yeah.
I wonder why that happened. I'll have to just scroll
Keep
around occasionally. Oh, what the hell? Can you hear?
I can't see you guys.
Hold on.
I haven't been able to see you like the whole podcast.
Oh, for
Really?
real?
Yeah.
Why didn't you tell us?
Oh, I don't know. I was just like, well,
Shit.
starting.
No, it's okay.
Um,
Let me just call you back real quick, okay?
Oh, okay. Hold up.
I can see you now. Can
All
you?
right, cool. We're
It
both on the
recorded
screen.
us the whole time. Can you still not see us, or what's up?
No, I can see you. I can see you.
oh, okay.
Yeah.
Are you sure? Or you just
Yeah. Jake is wearing a tie-dye t-shirt and I don't know what shirt you have on. The Dover Street Market. Okay.
Yeah. You were just wondering what shirts we were wearing?
Yeah.
Nice. Yeah, this is a recess shirt. That one that says "fuck your racist," fuck racism. That Drew designed.
Mm-hmm.
like watched it a whole bunch.
Yeah.
I'm just curious because it still holds up really well.
Yeah, it is. It's
It's
beautiful.
water-based ink, Trevor.
And then
Okay.
shout out Curdy. We love good life over here. Living the good life.
Oh, hold up. I'm gonna grab my charger real quick. My phone's like.
Okay.
Yeah.
Sounds good.
Pieces prostate massager.
Pieces, yoyos. Is that what you're talking?
Yeah, prostate massager.
Oh my god. This guy's got jokes. While Trevor's gone, let's look through. I asked on Instagram a couple questions. Let's see. Someone asked, Brian Figueroa asks, can you do seasick now?
Yeah, I can do seasick.
You can do seasick?
Yeah. I learned kind of by accident. Like, I didn't do it on purpose. I didn't
Right.
learn on purpose, but yeah, I can do it now.
It's one of those rhythm tricks that just comes to you eventually.
Yeah, I think I was just messing around in a different mountain. I was like, wait a sec. Like, I can kind of do it this in the horizontal mountain.
You can do it sideways. That's
Yeah.
how yeah.
And then when I
Like
just did
from
it front
breakaway.
way, yeah. And then I would see Gary like every 3 or 4 months. So when,
Right on.
Yeah.
Gary Longoria, inventor of seasick. Are they cousins or brothers? Gary and Jeff.
Brothers.
Brothers. There you go. They're brothers in yo-yoing. You and Danny, Gary
and Jeff.
I guess that's it.
Philip and Stuart.
Oh yeah.
Stuart, Philip,
Stuart from Mad TV. Can you roll your R's? He also asked.
No.
I can't either. Can't do it.
Not gonna try.
Yeah. Let's see here. Any thoughts on UYYC or US Nationals, Trevor or Tyler? Probably not.
EYIC's like coming up, right?
It's coming up, I guess. Yeah.
When was it?
And they're the ones that banned Russia from it. If I'm
Yeah, I brought that's in my notes too.
yeah. Interesting. And then World's response to all the war in Ukraine was to not tell anyone where each player is from, which is interesting.
Everyone is anonymous.
I don't know. I guess I don't know. I don't know what I think about that. So what do you suppose? The first thing that comes to mind is if someone's a national champion, are you just supposed to say, "Oh my god"? Oh, buddy. Are you just supposed to say this is a national champion up next? Like you can't say
It's all over your face. It's all over your face.
Stuff on your face, Beryl. But yeah, you can't specify what country someone's the national champion of. It's a little unusual, but I guess it doesn't matter. I don't know.
Yeah,
Do you have any thoughts on it?
It's geographist.
Yeah. What about? I think it's a little crazier to be banning Russia completely from UYYC.
Well, the reason they did this is because Russia really fucked up Europe after the World Wars. You know.
Well, yeah. So they're getting payback now.
Well, it's not exclusively because of that, but it's like they just don't have a good history against each other. So it's
Right.
like, I think, it's about like people from Czechoslovakia are the head of, or the Czech
UYYC.
Republic, excuse me. They're the head of the European Yo-Yo League, like
Right.
the people who run European Yo-Yo contests. So it's like, it kind of adversely affects them, which I don't know. Like, I don't know. They're right. It's their event. Like,
They're allowed to do it, yeah.
I don't necessarily agree with it either, but like, I don't know. I think it's all so hard,
Did you watch any U.S. Nats freestyles this year, Trevor?
I did not.
I didn't either. Yeah.
I don't have that anymore. That like, where I'm just like, oh, a new contest just happened. I gotta go watch every video.
It's hard to get excited now. There's so few contests.
Yeah, I guess that's true.
What gets you excited for Yo-Yo?
Yeah.
Scrolling through Instagram and seeing like Mewchin post something, or like Sakatsuka Tsukasa Takatsu. Is that his name?
Tsukasa
Repeater Man?
Takatsu. Yeah. That's his name. He didn't have it last time.
Yeah.
He rocks, dude. I love that.
Sakatume.
There's that group. Sakatume. There's that.
Sorry.
That page on Instagram, Yo-Yo Repeaters, also, which is really good.
Yeah.
Those
Follow-
repeaters
yeah,
are so
look that
good.
up, dude. Follow it.
Okay.
I want to film a full-length video of all repeaters. Like, I have most of it done. I have like 15 repeaters logged, and I have like a
Damn.
song I want to use, and I have a videographer, and I'm gonna go film in New York, and I'm gonna scout locations with like repeating backgrounds and shit. I want to. You guys remember the hardest button-to-button video from the White Stripes, where the camera's static? It's directed by Michel Gondry, the guy that the Crazy Dream movie.
Yeah.
And, like, the camera's just static, but they have like a bunch of different drum sets set up, and they're all like moving around. It'll be like Meg White playing the drums up and down, and then like Jack White playing with like a bunch of amps strung together. I want to kind of like do that with repeaters, but going on that Yo-Yo Repeaters account and watching everyone else's repeaters, dude, mine are shitty. They're so bad. Like,
No, I'm sure they're not, but there's some.
I have one or two good ones.
There's
like,
some real psychotic ones.
Yeah.
Tony Sack has on there that are like.
Tony's incredible.
What the fuck are
A couple
these?
of the Russian guys have amazing ones.
They look like things you shouldn't be able to do with a yo-yo. Check out Yo-Yo Repeaters. That'll be the featured profile today. So every week I want to feature someone
Yo-Yo
or
Repeaters.
a page on Instagram.
Yeah.
So this is at Yo-Yo Repeaters, all one word. But for the future, if you want to be featured, tag me in your post or do hashtag Radio Yo-Yo. Either or, I'll see it and then I'll check it out, and then there's a chance you'll get featured. But this week's will be Yo-Yo Repeaters, and let's see if I can find a good example. That one's just like a suicide thing.
Oh, whatever it is. Oh, can Trevor even see on there, I guess? Yeah.
I'm gonna. Yeah, I'm just gonna show you.
Yeah.
Mr. Pawn.
Pawn, old school legend.
Oh. Ooh, I like that.
God, I forget his name.
I'm more showing the viewers too, but check
Does it
it
come up
out.
on the camera? Okay. Let me
Yeah, it look good. It'll look fine. Here's Tony.
Splice it over too.
Like, that's insane.
Yeah. Oh, that reminds me of an old like Steve Brown repeater, but like a modern take on it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So simple, but just so good. So that's
those are the best. Fuck. I should have. that was right there the whole time.
I know, that's the best kind of trick. It's also the most frustrating when it's something that you know, where you've done something really close to it,
Yeah.
but they do one different thing and it becomes so sick.
There's a lot of yo-yo players that are like that.
Yeah.
They're not really sick, but they just like document so much of their tricks where I'm like, oh my god, why are you doing
Why
this?
didn't I document that though? Sometimes you think.
Well, that's how I feel afterwards, because they'll do it and people will be like, that's so sick. And I'll be like, I would think that's like not a mistake, but it's something you do for fun, and then you never film it again or whatever. And then someone else does it and it's like, oh, that trick is so sick.
That's an
like,
interesting topic, though. That's a part of trick creation and innovation is who is recording what. Like
perception is serious. Yeah.
It's like a lot of people are incredibly innovative, but they never record anything. So they're not considered innovative, but like you don't release much content in general, Tyler. I feel like, I don't know, anymore. Like you keep it pretty close to your chest. I feel that's how it comes across.
Because I don't have much anymore. But
that's what you say. But then you come over and yo-yo in my house and you have stuff.
I can yo-yo, but I just don't. I know what's new and what's not new. Like it's like the Grateful Dead going on tour now. They're not playing new shit. You know what I mean?
Right.
Like,
but I respect that about you. You're very much sort of against sharing old stuff. But
just Tyler and company. He's just there running off THC.
You got a list of greatest hits, and then you have enough variations on your old stuff and new stuff. That you could have a trick every other day on Instagram, and it would get tons of likes. But like, you choose not to because.
And it's like.
I like that you have that, whatever it is, like pride in it. You're like, it's not new. People have seen this. But the thing is, a lot of people haven't seen it. Like, there's a lot of yo-yoers, and I don't know. That's just me saying, like, I want to see more content. Because I love watching you yo-yo, but it's kind of hard to find it.
It kills me when people comment, like, so good seeing you yo-yo. Or, like, it's always great seeing you on stage. No, I'm not fucking dead. Like, I'm the only person.
I take, like, a quick live thing and put it on my story, and people are like, go nuts.
That's funny.
YouTube, it's slacking.
You were talking about, like, people not recording stuff, and I've always had this weird thought, like, it's like, what if there's someone out there that, like, just has no contact with the community at all, and they just have, like, sick ass, so, like, someone on, like, some remote island that, like,
he lives in a Unabomber cabin and just, like, yo-yos all day.
Like, is there just someone out there that, like, like, sometimes, like, there would be, like, someone that just, like, pops on an Instagram, like, hey, I just created social media accounts for the first time, like, here's, like, a dump of, like, all my craziest shit, and you're just like, where the fuck did you even come from? Like, I forgot this dude's name, but for a while he was posting, the tricks he was posting, his face was, like, cropped off, and people thought for a while that it was Elijah Scroot, but it was actually just some, like, other kid. But, like, he had, like, crazy-ass tricks, and I just remember being like, this kid just popped out of nowhere, like, with no projections.
Mark told me about a guy like that one time, like, in Massachusetts or in the Northeast that, like, wasn't on, this was, like, years ago, like, 2006, 2007, but he, like, wasn't on the forums, like, didn't watch videos, didn't go to contests, but, like, still played 5A and off string and all this shit. So he would, like, come up with his own tricks and different things, but, like, wouldn't be influenced by yo-yoers at all.
That guy Tyler Severance in Canada sort of did that, at least to me. Maybe people knew him, but he came out of nowhere too.
I think he was probably friendly with, like, Chuck and Jensen, like, behind the scenes, but I mean, his coming out party was, like, 2016 Worlds. People were just like, who is this guy?
Yeah, it was insane.
That's how I remember it, but
People can also glow up style-wise too, like...
Chuck did.
Chuck did. Chuck has always looked good. I'm not saying you're wrong, but, like, Chuck has always been amazing trick-wise and style-wise, but, like, I don't know. Like, so that could definitely happen with Tyler too, where he was just a proficient yo-yo for a long time and then had a really good trick set one time and then started harping on it more. What'd you say, Trevor? I'm sorry.
Oh, something clicked. Like,
yeah, right. I wonder if it record. Anytime we talk on our end, like my computer audio, like VIPs our voices, like it won't let us talk at the same time.
Yeah,
like
I don't know
it
why
cuts
that
you
is.
off. So sure if like internally it's still recording it or like if it's just not recording you at all at that time.
I think it'll be okay. But we're going to do our best not to talk over you.
Yeah.
It's my bad. I'm bad with that.
No, it's all good.
We're all bad with it. But this goes into a topic someone else asked about, wanted us to talk about. The Mishka, Mischk, asked thoughts on undiscovered trick territory, which really goes with sort of what you were saying about there could be people out there doing stuff we don't even know about.
Yeah.
I think I personally believe there is pretty much an endless amount stuff you can do with the yo-yo. So it's not going to, some people think like we've reached the peak.
No, God.
There's so much you can do. That's
one of my favorite things to talk about during yo-yo shows. I don't expound on it too much, but inevitably kids always ask, like, how many tricks are there? What's the hardest trick? Or they ask some variation of that question. And it's always, like, very, like, I have an off-string yo-yo and a 5A yo-yo there. So I can do, like, a variation of, I can do like an Eli hopper or whatever and be like, look, here's a 4A version of it and here's a 5A version of it, or like how it translates. And then I do it behind my arm and behind my head. And I'm like, you can do this with any part of your body. Like, it's literally infinite. And like, I don't know. It's an interesting concept.
Yeah.
Especially body tricks haven't even been touched, dude. Like leg tricks and stuff.
You're so right.
They're just starting to get.
Jason Lee has some amazing leg tricks. And like, he used to say the same thing. He'd be like, dude, no one does any fucking tricks on their legs, bro. And just do an amazing leg trick and be like, this guy's crazy.
Part of it seems like corny, but like I've been seeing some cool. Angelo actually just did a cool one where he like bounced off his knee into a green triangle and upside down GT or something. It was sick. It was very cool.
It's like talking about like when he did it as a joke at the end of the video, but that sounds cool.
No, actually. No, not that. He did something cool.
This player from Brazil who I like hung out with at EYYC one time, he has this off-string trick where he like bounces it off the ground really hard and then like does the Spider-Man whip trick where like the string just doesn't open whip catch in and out, but like as it bounces up off the ground, it like open whip catches out. So like the yo-yo's bouncing up and then it open whip catches out and then binds back to him like that. But he does it out of like a combination of tricks where like you don't expect it. Like he's mid combination of tricks and it just bounces down really hard and then he lets go of the string. It's like and then bounces back and it's
so
like,
sick.
Shit. Yeah.
There's so many little stylistic things. It sometimes feels like there's no more to be done and you can get stuck, but
I miss contest clip videos for that reason because that used to be the type of shit that would go in those videos. Everyone has 2 or 3 of those tricks and that would be the trick in the video. Like, do your best shit right now, go. And I have the camera on a tripod and like you're doing it. And
do you remember, I don't know, did you participate in the 2012 World Yo-Yo Contest Trick Circle?
Me?
Yeah.
No, I never really did anything like that. I watched your and Jake's podcast last week where Jake was talking about all the workshops that like, these always used to happen at Worlds and stuff. And it's like, no one ever went to those. Like
I did.
We did go to the 5A ones just
That's where I met Takashi Matsura.
Yeah, try to compete with each other, like kind of subtly flex on the Japanese dudes while there. But not really. Like it was all friendly competition, but you know.
To be fair, I didn't go when I knew you, when I was getting second at Worlds. I went when I was young. I went to 2004 Worlds, 2005.
That's right. Yeah.
I was a little ass kid not competing.
Right. So
I did go to those. Yeah.
Sorry.
No, it's okay. I'm just clarifying.
I forgot about that.
No, like
thank you for
the
doing
older kids definitely didn't go to those fucking workshops.
Yeah.
They were kind of a joke. But
it was the first year I went. Sorry.
For the young kids, it was good, I thought.
No, it is, yeah. And thank you for saying that you went to them because everyone now. Go ahead, Trevor.
Oh, sorry. Yeah, no, talking over each other. It's just, it's parents bring their kids there and it's like, oh, there's some structure here. I'm going to have my kid do the workshop or whatever. Like, yeah.
It makes it more professional and it felt like Worlds. They didn't have that at the smaller contests. Yeah. So when I got to go to Worlds as a kid, I was like, I'm going to be able to have an excuse to meet Steve Brown and all these people because they're going to be at the workshop and they're going to have to talk to me. And like, it was cool.
Yeah, for sure. every core yo-yo player thinks all that stuff is so corny, but like you said, parents love the structure of it. Like, other than when people are competing on stage, the most attention I see from parents when I'm emceeing is when I explain like how the divisions work or how things are scored, or like, it's interesting. I'll just be like, yeah, forays when the yo-yo comes off the string, and players are only judged when the yo-yo is doing a trick that it needs to be done with an off-string yo-yo. So if players are doing too many tricks that are on the string, eventually judges start docking points because of the, like, you start like explaining to parents how it works, because they don't fucking know. They just watch their kids do it and give them hundreds of dollars to buy shit and then come to the contest. But every yo-yo player, it's like their dream to just go to a contest. It's like, oh, I just want to hang out with my friends, and like, it's interesting. But everyone now wants to do like a lifestyle event, you know what I mean? Like a yo-yo con that isn't really competition focused, just like a yo-yo event where like everyone's hanging out and doing shit. And it's like, it would have to be filled with stuff like we were just saying.
For sure,
with
just to provide a little bit of
stuff.
structure to the event to make it seem just more professional.
And that's the type of shit that, sorry, I didn't mean to cut you off.
No, yeah, just more professional, and then you can match players to their strengths. So like, you could have Angelo teach a fucking Godspeed class where he teaches rail combos.
Oh, that would be
have an innovation workshop where it's just like, we're going to focus on making something new that we've never done before. There's stuff that you could make it cool. Like,
yeah, I wasn't laughing at that. I was laughing. One year at Iowa State's, there was a crazy flood and the contest got canceled. Like, the venue was like flooded, so we got like rained out technically, and we couldn't go to it. It was an indoor venue, but like they flooded inside the venue, and we like all went downtown and just yo-yoed together, and it was just whoever made up the best trick won.
That's awesome. There you go.
And Abe won.
Of course, Abe won.
Oh yeah, that's another guy.
Abe and John Bott are like almost who you're describing, like kind of isolated. They don't really compete, and they just have the best tricks ever. Here's another question we got for a topic while we're on talking trick theory and creativity and stuff. WalkingBandaid.fd, I guess this guy's on Freshly Dirty, asks, does contest scoring stifle creativity, or are innovators going to innovate no matter what? I like that first part. Does contest scoring stifle creativity? I would argue yes, but that's not necessarily a bad thing. I think competition is a separate thing from just having fun with yo-yo. Like, there has to be structure to competition or it's not going to work. You can't necessarily, it's very difficult to reward innovation and creativity in a contest setting because it's sort of subjective. Or is it subjective or objective? Subjective.
Judging?
Yeah, judging is subjective. For like judging, say, new trick. Some people might have seen something like it before. Some judges might have not seen it.
Mm-hmm.
So that's impossible. So like, but inherently the rules, like especially the rules of off-string, really stifle what you can do in off-string, as we saw by Hajime not winning with his incredible solo ham routine. It was because of the rules, right? Yeah. So that's my opinion.
No, for sure. I think it's very similar to like pop music, where like, I don't know, it's like ease of understanding is always kind of favored when it comes to general consumption of something. You know what I mean? They're gonna favor something that's easier to understand and not like the newest shit or what like everyone prefers. That's a core member of the community, like a core yo-yo player.
Right. We got to take what we can get with these competitions. It's volunteer judges. It can never be perfect.
But that being said, like, there's room for both, but like, you shouldn't be an innovator and try to like force the system to
expect to be rewarded. Yeah. I mean,
which sucks. It does suck, but
it's not going to happen. But you need to. There's so much room. Like the second part of his questions, are innovators going to innovate no matter what? That, of course, like, there's always going to be people thinking outside the box, and that's the really fun part about yo-yoing.
And non-competitive players are almost more popular than competitive players now.
Yeah.
Not all the time, and it's all different reasons, but like, you know.
I would say you're right at this point. You can make such a name for yourself if you want that kind of attention. Just
like Ricardo was the king of Instagram for
has probably never competed in his life, right? Or maybe
he would compete at Italian Nats, but he'd get like 4th, 5th, 3rd, whatever. And it's not the stacked field, not the most stacked field.
Right.
Ricardo posts, they were like an event. Like,
I don't think he's posted in like
he posted recently, and it was all Hank Freeman tricks. Hank Freeman was at his house.
I was at his house. That's so funny.
Dude. So his first post in like over a year was just Hank Freeman
Hank
doing
at his
3A.
house. Oh man,
the best.
I've been to his house. It's pretty cool.
You have?
Yeah.
Oh, that's so awesome.
Hank is in Prague?
Huh?
Where does Hank live?
I don't know where he's at right now, to be honest.
Yeah.
I think somewhere in Asia, maybe. Like AG, I think.
Just all Hank Freeman 3A. Check out Ricardo. Everyone already follows him, but
yeah,
just the best.
Yeah, and that room too is like.
That room is iconic. Yeah, he's got a drum set up there now.
It's like Jensen's filmed in there, Chuck's filmed in there.
Oh, really? I didn't realize that.
Yeah. I think Ricardo's got a video on his profile of Chuck doing a trick and like Jensen.
Wow. I gotta get over there, man.
I gotta go to Italy and film in this study.
I do. Holy shit. What a cool spot.
Oh, kind of something that maybe I wanted to talk about was I kind of like, it feels like if someone, you know, arrives or like is really getting really good, like sort of a rite of passage is getting like an art video with like the black background. Like Colin Beckford had one, Kieran had one, Yuki had one, not Spencer, the other guy. I forgot his last name.
Yeah.
But yeah, like I think that's very cool. Like, you know, like getting invited to go like film with them or whatever.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Definitely. They have a unique thing up, and a look to everything they do, and they have the clout to back it up and to make a player. Anything they share will get huge attention. Owen Ekblad, I think, had deal with them as well. Yeah, controversial company, but very
not really. I
mean, lately, I feel like it has been, just because people, you know, we don't have to get into it, but I respect everything they do. I do.
I don't know where you were on January 6th, Trevor.
Yeah.
I don't know where you were on January 6th.
I don't know where Chase Haddon was on January. No.
In
He
Canada.
Was in Canada. He's certainly not doing anything.
Anyway.
You know, I don't even know why. Yeah. Everyone knows. But I love Jensen. I love Chuck. I talk to Jensen pretty regularly, and I'm always honored to talk to him. He's a good guy and very creative person. I have a big ass painting in my bedroom above my bed that he did. It's beautiful. I look at it every
before
time
I go to bed.
Yeah, I fall asleep looking at it. I wake up looking at it. It's beautiful. But you're right. They have a unique thing going up there. We gotta get you up there. I'll fly you up.
No. By the way, I just wanted to say, like, I'm not trying to bring it up, like, hey, me.
I know you're not.
I'm just saying.
I see you're wearing a
video
Jeffree Stein shirt, by the way.
Like, they put a lot of work into it, and people really, like, bring their best shit to, like, film those videos. But, yeah.
Yeah, they're so good. They're so fun to watch. Why are you wearing a Gentry Stein shirt right now? Just kidding.
It was clean. It was in my closet.
Gentry rocks, dude.
There are other shirts that I don't know if I can wear.
Shirts you make at work?
Maybe. No.
That's all mostly band stuff, right?
Yeah, it's like Pink Floyd and like lots of Joy Division.
Lots of Joy Division.
Like
70 Joy Division.
So much.
Probably printed like 40,000 Joy Division shirts.
Wow.
If not more.
When I worked at Yo-Yo Factory, there was like a certain point that I probably had like 50 or 60 Yo-Yo Factory t-shirts because I would just like,
Oh yeah.
when I was like 17, 18, 19, not showering all the time and just like dirty as fuck all the time and just like, oh, I didn't do any laundry. Like, oh, I'll just go grab a shirt from Yo-Yo Factory when I get there. Like, because they would print on like American Apparel shirts and it's like, damn, all this shit's really nice. And it's like, I'm at Yo-Yo Factory. I'm not like at the club trying to pick someone up. So like I would just wear a Yo-Yo Factory shirt. I don't care. But it was just funny. I have so many still I need to like give away or get rid of, but they're all like mediums and stuff.
Damn.
What's the next
I
question?
would take a large. We got a good question here from Jay Mackerel. He says, favorite yo-yo videos to watch. And that sort of goes with what you were talking about. Probably those art videos. I'll watch any of those anytime. For me personally, I like to watch older stuff from when I was coming up when I want to get inspired because it's nostalgic, first of all. It takes me back to being a kid. And there's also a lot of content in there that can be used still to this day. That like forgotten stuff, like a weird Jake Maloney trick in some clip video.
I
You know
used
what
to
mean?
watch everything for that reason because
Right.
everyone would have fire shit in the
Yeah.
videos, and you'd be like, "Damn, like that
You
crazy
can watch. I recommend
Jake Maloney trick." Yeah, whatever.
anyone to just look up the oldest. Go to Josh Yee's Yo-Yo channel on YouTube and watch some old clip videos, and I'm telling you, you will find stuff that like, oh, I didn't. And it's all easy by today's standards. But it's
Some
stuff.
of it, but
some of
not
it.
all
Some of
of
it's
it.
not too.
It's still stuff you come. It's just like I don't understand what's going on here, and this is in 2001.
Right.
Yeah.
There will always be a mixed in like Jason Lee or Spencer Berry trick in those old videos that you're not sure because their head's cut off, but you can tell by their hands.
Right.
You're like, that's Spencer, I think.
And good
it's like-
timeless stuff is good. Sorry, we're
No, you're just timeless stuff, like you're saying, is
it's good forever. Yeah.
so
A good trick in 2000.
highly recommend for some inspiration. Like, shut off Instagram for a minute and go on YouTube and find some old yo-yo clips. And then another favorite yo-yo video of mine is the Born to Lose video Danny did with Save Death.
Yeah,
I
that's
think
a
it's
good
called
one.
Born to Lose. That's always one I go back to as well. I'm sure everyone's seen that, but if you haven't, is it called Born to Lose? I guess, right? If you search that, it should come up.
That's the name
Danny
of it,
Severance, Born to Lose. One of the later things he did, I guess. One of the last videos he made. But
Yeah, on the car in the woods and stuff.
Yeah,
Yeah.
It really captures Danny's personality super well, I think, because Seth
Great
was
example,
filming.
yeah, of like those tricks aren't super difficult, but they're great tricks. So it's like they're timeless and like
It's so good
Yeah.
and just really good video. So I always go back to that one. But if you guys have any favorite videos you can think of off the top of your head, I don't know. Probably not. It's hard.
I like
it's hard on the spot.
the Glass Lab Experiment 6. It's with Spencer Berry and Jason Lee. They're both like yo-yoing outside. It was from BLC 2004.
I
Or
forgot
like
about that one.
Adam. It's on the internet now, but like I think Glass Eye uploaded it or whatever, and like he like exported it with the wrong settings or something because like all the footage is like really pixelated. Like the
Dang.
footage itself is like 1080p, but then like the yo-yo moving looks horrible for some reason. It's all like
man.
pixelated and shitty.
I don't know how I don't remember that one.
It's on Vimeo, I'm pretty sure, but like all those Glass Lab experiment videos are really
The
good.
Doc Pop one is so
The
sick.
Doc Pop one is good. That one was so confusing when I was a kid because like I didn't understand how like avant-garde things worked. Like I was so used to like formatting like A, B, C, D.
No,
like,
that video is
middle,
very
and,
weird.
Yeah,
He has like the weird music changes, and he's in the aquarium underground, like doing really weird tricks.
yeah.
And I love that. I ate that up. But
When I
can
see it now, I'm like, oh, I get it. But when I was like 10 or 11, I'm like, what the fuck is this guy doing?
Yeah. I understand that. I can see that. Trevor, any videos?
It's unfortunate. I think they're off of YouTube now. But all those like sector-wide Jason Lee videos from like the 2010s.
I just saw those the other day somewhere. They must be on Vimeo then, because they're all still up somewhere. Yeah.
Yeah, like what's the main one? I mean, obviously,
They call it like Legacy or Legend or something.
What's up?
They called like Legacy or Legend or something.
Legendary, I think.
Yeah.
That's it. Yeah.
One that I mean, honestly, there was a whole like run of Jason Lee videos that were all like ridiculous that I used to always like go down the Jason Lee rabbit hole like a couple times a year and just like binge all of those. Outside of that, just like scouring YouTube for like any Yuki Spencer stuff that like I haven't seen yet.
Yeah.
And
all those old what was the first one you said? I'm sorry.
Oh, legendary Jason Lee.
Yeah, that period of Jason Lee where he was just putting out, he put out like 3 or 4 of those videos a year for like 3 or 4 years back to back.
Full length videos, like,
and they were okay, but like not insanely well. Like,
yeah,
if those got released now, they'd do like those art video numbers where they do like 10,000 views a year type shit. But like, what was the third one you were gonna say though? The last video. Scouring for Yuki Spencer videos, and then what was the last one?
And like Letter Blue by Guy Wright, that was a big one that I watched a ton when I started to yo-yo.
Yeah.
Yeah. And also Paul Hahn's 2010 BAC when he got like 5th, I think.
Okay.
I used to watch that like constantly. He used Wasted by Gucci Mane.
Oh.
Like Paul Hahn, I like when I very first started yo-yoing, I was like, this dude is the best. Absolute favorite.
Your mom comes in, she's like, "What are you watching, hun?" Like pulls off your headphones and it's like rockstar. Like, what is this?
But yeah.
All good recommendations.
Yeah, good recommendations.
Check them out. Look at some older videos. I'm telling you guys, like it's the way to go for even. You don't have to go super old, like I was saying, like 2010 era stuff.
Yeah.
And it's a great way to get a fresh take on yo-yoing, I think. Speaking of Doc Pop, I watched a really cool. I just want to shout out. He did an interview with this guy named Tao, who was on the Warped Tour. Yeah, spin top player. He invented gyroflop, first of all, with a spin top. And Doc Pop saw that and made it a yo-yo trick. And he invented corkscrew. You know, the trick where the top goes down your arm? He invented that shit.
Did someone do that with a gyroscope before they did it with a top?
I don't know. They don't mention that. I don't think so, because you need a bearing tip to do it.
But gyroscopes like spin, they spin on the string and stuff. You know what I mean?
It's
so
possible.
I don't know. It's possible,
I wonder.
Right?
That's an interesting thought.
I've never seen someone.
He
use
does
a
a good like 45-minute hour interview with this guy Tao who worked for Greg at Infinite Illusions.
Interesting.
And he was like the manager of the Warped Tour Fiend tour that they did.
Yeah.
So he has some really great stories from the Fiend tour.
Oh man, we should interview him.
So I'm gonna try to, because I mean he already told most of the stories in Doc Pop's thing.
I can't imagine he got into like the X-rated shit that we would have.
No, yeah. I want to try to get his contact info. But anyway, check it out. Very good interview. Doc Pop's doing great things over there. Someone asked last time, they want Steve Brown stories, Tyler, from you. I think you have one about his attic full of freehands.
Yeah, did I tell that on a podcast though?
No, you didn't.
I just told it to you.
Yeah. Maybe tell that one.
So a bunch of my friends that were on Duncan at the time would stop by Steve Brown's house, and he worked at Duncan, and he got a lot of free product from Duncan, or like anytime they ran stuff, he would get a ton of prototypes, or like he just had a plethora of Duncan yo-yos in his attic, like old ones, new ones, all kinds of shit. And I was playing with freehand zeros at the time, and I reached out to him before the Mid-East Regional Yo-Yo Contest he was running in Ohio. And I was like, hey man, like I'm coming out to your yo-yo contest, like I heard that like you have a pretty crazy attic, like it would be cool just to see it and like just look at some shit. I didn't like ask him for anything, but I did say like, oh, it'd be cool to like buy some freehand caps off you or something, because I didn't have like a ton of money, and like I had yo-yos and shit, but I was like, I'm good. And like going there, he like showed me a bunch of cool stuff, but he gave me, it must have been like 40 or 50 freehand zeros, like several plastic bags full of yo-yos, like that I went back and then like I probably only kept like 20 or 30. I gave a bunch to friends and shit. Like I keep a good chunk of yo-yos, but like he definitely hooked me up with like way more yo-yos than he did. The other thing that was up there was his National Master Award. I don't know if you've ever seen one of these, Trevor. When you win the National Master Award from the National Yo-Yo League, it's like framed patch or like embroidered. It's not like a chenille embroidery or however you pronounce it. It's just like a basic embroidery. But it's like a nice like award. Like it looks like you worked at a factory for fucking 10 years and they give you an award because you've been in the union for that long or whatever. But Steve had it in his attic and like the fucking glass on it was cracked. And I was just like, what is it? Like he has a tattoo on the back of his fucking head. So I was just like, and I was like 15 at the time and I was like, what is this doing up here? Like, why isn't this downstairs? This should be like prominently displayed in your living room, man. And he's like, no one in this house gives a shit about that.
That's insane.
So, it's a good time.
Who was the last person to become like a national yo-yo master?
Andre Boulay and Nathan Christie, I think. Yeah.
They deserve it, both of them.
Yeah.
Very cool award, I think. I like it. Sort of outdated, like the Trick and Never of the Year is, but still a high honor, in my opinion.
Yeah, crazy high honor. It just like means nothing, really. I don't know. Like, it's like the disproportionate responsibility to continue to be a part of something you don't really want to be a part of. That's the only thing I see, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
A bunch of people that like don't necessarily want to be involved anymore are kind of forced to continue to be involved. Like, I don't know.
That's an interesting thing.
Not all of them, but
The National Yo-Yo Master is basically just people being like, please don't leave us.
yeah, it's like when people have a baby instead of getting divorced or whatever, you know.
My only good Steve Brown story is 2004 Worlds. So this is my first yo-yo contest ever. And I'm 13, 12. And I see Steve Brown, the guy, he's still bald at the time with the big tattoo on the back of his head.
I didn't know he could grow hair. I thought that he was
I know, I thought he was bald
forever,
too. And I see the guy from the Trick CD from the Throw Monkey that I have. It's an insane feeling as a kid to see the guy in person. He was larger than life. He really was. And so I'm just like loitering nearby to him. I'm just like, I'm too scared to say anything to him, but he's hanging out to the right of the stage at Worlds and I'm just hanging out nearby, just yo-yoing and just like literally eavesdropping, listening to what he's saying. And he's talking to a group of guys, probably like Felix Avanella and like Jack Rinka. And he's like, yeah, here's the new prototype from Duncan. It's called the Mosquito. This is going to be the best yo-yo fucking ever. This fucking yo-yo is undersized. It's like it's a Mosquito, right? And get this, it's going to come with a counterweight. It's going to be a piece of amber with a mosquito in the counterweight, just like Jurassic Park.
That would have been so cool.
Because in Jurassic Park, the movie, there's a piece of, you know, if anyone doesn't know, though, it's a piece of amber, which is like clear yellow. Like
I've never watched Jurassic Park. Thank you.
Stone, and there's a mosquito in it, and they insert a needle into the mosquito to get the DNA they need to make dinosaurs. So it's like a big part of Jurassic Park. But he's like, so the mosquito yo-yo is going to have this mosquito and amber. And then he looks over right at me, and he's like, listen, kid, you didn't hear any of that. And I was like, okay, all right. Because it was like secret Duncan information. And it meant the world to me to hear, like, I was excited, this mosquito yo-yo, and then he talked to me.
I'm so glad you remember that. He
said something to me. I would never forget that. And yeah, so that's my only Steve Brown
He bought me a whiskey sour at the bar.
I would,
I'm 12 years old. He was like, I don't care, kid.
He slapped me in the fucking... Yeah. It was awesome, though. It was really cool at the time. And now looking back, he was probably younger than I am now. He was probably like 28. And it was just a kid at a yo-yo contest. Like,
yeah, isn't that crazy? He's probably maybe even younger, dude. What year was that, or how long ago was that?
2004, so.
He's got to be like in his early to mid 40s.
Yeah,
so
I think he's like 48, so. I don't know.
Say it could have been like 28, yeah.
Yeah, I think he was probably like 28. But wild stuff. Is Trevor any Steve Brown stories?
Really,
Yeah.
like I don't think I've ever had any like interaction with Steve Brown. I mean, obviously, like when I was in the 5th grade, I got like a free hand too from Toys R Us, and it came with like that little mini disc that you would put on your computer and all that, like the little Duncan games that you could play on the computer, and then there was like maybe a video of like Steve Brown on it, and I just remember him being like the face of Duncan when I was like young.
Yeah, he really was.
It was the first like person that I knew that was like famous from YOYO, or like had his like personal image like branded along with whatever YOYO you were buying. And then after that was Ooch.
You guys ever think about how he kind of looks like Moby when he shaves his head? Not like exactly, but
Brown?
yeah, a little bit.
A little bit, yeah.
Not like a whole bunch, you know what I mean?
He's like a punk rocker, tough
They
Moby.
kind of have similar tattoos. I was trying to figure out a joke for the tattoos. They kind of, like, have you seen those new tattoos Moby has that just say like vegan and like?
Yeah, I think it's vegan life or like something.
Yeah.
Steve Brown just has like yo-yo or juggle.
No, he did remind me of Moby. That's a good point.
I'm gonna get
He's
coffee, THC, Delta 9.
Delta
Jake has been really into buying yo-yos off eBay lately. What's the last thing you bought off eBay, Trevor?
Oh my goodness. I couldn't tell you.
When I was younger, when I say it again, I'm sorry, repeat that.
Oh, just, I don't think I've ever bought anything off eBay, and if it was, I must have been in like middle school. Like,
Look what I just bought.
a yo-yo on eBay. Whoa,
Lynn Fury, baby.
nice.
Sheesh. It's a beauty. I can't wait to like throw it once and then put it in my drawer.
You should silicone.
I
Really playable.
I will silicone it. That's a good idea. I got a game for you guys, an eBay game that might become a regular segment. We'll see how it goes.
Yeah.
I'm going to tell you guys a yo-yo. In this case, it's going to be Yo-Yo Jam yo-yos. And you
Okay.
got to guess how much someone bought them for. These are all like sold listings.
Oh my god, I can't believe some of these. Holy shit.
Yeah.
Okay,
No
I'm
looking.
supposed to look, my bad.
We're going to start with an old school. You might not even know what this is, Trevor. A Yo-Yo Jam Mega Spin Factor, which is why it's really early. I can show you a picture of it.
Is it just is it marbled?
Oh yeah, I remember looking at pictures of that on Yo-Yo Nation.
It's in nice condition.
Yeah, it's in great condition.
It's in great condition. It's a.
That looks like kind of an older.
And look how slimline it is.
Yeah, yeah.
It's kind of sick. That's like awesome, actually.
It's way skinnier than it actually looks in the photo too.
Yeah, it's like
real talk. It's probably like I can't even define anything.
It's just
yeah,
like
it's seriously
that.
like that probably.
It's so skinny.
So skinny.
So one of these sold a couple months ago. How much do you think this thing sold for?
I could tell you what the Yo-Yo Museum will say it's worth.
Look at the bearing. It has an Aquarius size bearing. Like that.
Smaller bearings spin longer, bro.
Baby. That's true.
Yo-Yo Jim just pumped stuff out like crazy.
500 models.
Bro, look at the packaging.
Yeah, you could fit a whole ounce of weed in there.
It came in a giant weed bag with a zip tie on the top.
There's such unnecessary white space. Like, why do you have all that fucking baggie for no reason?
That paper they just printed. That's very funny for anyone. If you hopefully you can keep it. Insane.
I'm gonna guess 250.
How much?
250.
250.
Yeah.
120.
120. $85.
That's surprising.
Okay.
Plus $10
Worth
shipping.
more, in my opinion.
Yeah, there's no cracks in it. It's
Is
beautiful.
it brass rings?
Yeah, brass rings.
Have you guys ever seen the Yo-Yo Jam infomercial?
No.
We should watch this together and do a review because there's a Rick Wyatt's in it doing 3A Ben Condi, little Ben Condi. He's like yo-yo with a string longer than him.
All right, here's one everyone knows. Yo-Yo Jam Dark Magic 2. And as a bonus, it came with 20 50-50 slick 6 strings.
Whoa. That person knows what they're doing.
So it's just some string and a Dark Magic 2, not even the original Dark Magic.
You can tell this person's like home for the summer too, because it's like on their childhood bed.
Yeah. It literally is on their bed.
So
they found it under their bed. And
15-year-old ejaculate all over that and a Dark Magic.
Throwing it on eBay on a whim. It looks like it's siliconed. It is.
That person knew their shit. Or just pads, whatever.
Yeah, it might be silicone pads. What do you guys think that sold for?
$65.
I'd say 45.
Very good, reasonable guesses. The answer is $220.
What?
I don't know why.
Oh my god.
But this is a sold item on eBay.
That cannot be. So sold means that someone paid, right?
I believe so, yeah. As far as
That doesn't mean that just like an item
sold
ended,
July
right?
15th, 2022.
Another one for $160?
Yeah, but it's the same photo, which is weird.
They had 2 of them, I guess. What the fuck?
I mean,
July of this year.
I went with 60 because I was like, oh, people are sentimental about these Dark Magic. There's probably tens of thousands of those in the wild.
It's a Dark Magic 2. It's not even
sort of at the end when Yo-Yo Jam like switched up their the
mold, the bearing seats.
The innards were different, and they still cracked like fucking crazy, anyways. But
yeah, it cracked worse, I think.
Which sucks because that's my favorite era of yo-yo jams because they kind of like figured out a little bit, like in terms of like making more modern yo-yos.
Thank you for showing me, Jake. That's insane, though.
I'm telling you.
Believe that.
I got 2 more for you.
I'm
just real
truly
quick.
flabbergasted by that.
I got 2 more just because these are cool as shit.
Also, because Andre must be sitting on like a down payment for a whole nother house and
Yeah.
his crib in Dark Magics. You should send that. I'll send it to Andre.
Yeah, I'll send you a screenshot.
It's so funny.
That
was a cool. They used to do that with every edition X-Con and Hitman because Johnny did the artwork, so he could like submit new artwork.
So this is just for fun to show it off mostly. Yo-Yo Jam X-Con Home Slice Edition.
Home slice. Oh,
So
God,
it's
I
just
forgot
like oranges sliced up, but the color of the yo-yo is fucking sick. Oh no! Look at that fucking yo-yo though.
That was a that I had after because I had a freehand tube that I was learning 1A on, and then I got a plastic grind machine. And from the plastic grind machine, I upgraded to an X-Con. So I had that yo-yo like starting out. And I remember like taking the rubber rings out and like having my dad take me to AutoZone to go get like flowable silicone, like siliconing it in my garage.
Hell yeah.
Starting on Yo-Yo Nation in 2010, you're under the impression that like you have to do tons of crazy modding and like stuff to your yo-yo.
I siliconed a bunch of first bases the other day.
Yeah.
It was just me.
But wait, I have to stop saying yeah.
I just don't want to mention it on the podcast because it's a good idea.
Yeah.
No, actually, I was thinking for that first podcast that we did, can we have like Colin Beckford like at the bottom of the screen clicking like every single time I say the word yeah?
That would be hilarious.
If there's like a counter on the screen.
Yeah, we could do a counter or something. That would be funny just to do for fun.
Yeah.
I said yeah in the first episode like 350 times, 400. It was pretty funny.
400 times.
I don't think that's.
Yeah, those X-Cons are sweet. Here's just for fun a Jambu that sold for $250.
Holy shit.
See, that makes more sense to me. The Jambu is like.
Look at that awesome photo. It's so blurry.
Oh, my God. That sold for. All right.
$20 plus shipping, $5 shipping. They made them pay the $5.
Wow.
Right out of real bamboo. Insane. But yeah, that's some cool yo-yo jam history for you, but the yo-yo market is out of control.
What's like the most expensive freehand that's gone in the last couple months? I'm looking it up.
Yeah.
500.
Go for crazy money.
Yeah. I was this. What was that, Trevor? Say it again.
Field. Oh, I just said $100 for a free hand, but like an inbox hyper freehand, that would probably go for a lot, right?
The glass eye.
I have one of these in my basement. This is funny. $150 for a glass eye.
I was bidding on this.
Wow, that's
This
crazy.
is the Spin Gear edition that Taka designed, and look, it's like purple Enyo.
I used to have one of
It
those.
went for $82.
It's so crazy to see this because, like, yo-yos were so dead when all this shit was happening, and now, oh, wow. Is this really an OG freehand one that went for $70? I would have paid that for it.
Yeah. That's
Oh,
not
it's
bad.
siliconed. Whatever.
I was bidding on this too, the 2007 Worlds.
I had a case of those. At
Gold
one point.
Enyo. Yeah, that makes sense. You won that year. Yo-Yo Sam edition? That's rough.
$70.
Rough artwork.
Oh yeah, dude. It's kind of cool. It's rough, but it's like I remember looking at it back then. It's like this is awful, but now I look at it, I'm like,
Yeah,
it's kinda
now I
cool.
kinda like it. I would love a glass eye
It's so
mint
bad, it's
package. Damn. Yeah, Yo-Yo Mark, crazy.
Yo-Yo Sam.
Yo-Yo Sam, baby.
They're one of my biggest customers. Only
Yes, Dunk Rebound available at Yo-Yo Sam now.
yeah, I was
Please
about to
check it
say,
out.
plug your shit, man.
Yo-Yo Sam has, they got the olive ones, they got silver, they got black, I think, maybe not black, but they got silver, olive, violet, purple. They have like all the original colors that I'm sold out of. They have them. So if you missed out, they got orange, Fanta baby. Go get some. Please support Yo-Yo Sam. This is my first time selling to a retailer, so I'm nervous and scared that it's not going to sell. So just help me out and support them at the same time. And then the last question from Instagram, Tyler, is where are all the first bases?
Jake is a single yo-yo dad. Sorry, I wanted to slip that joke.
Yeah, yeah.
Where are all the first
I got my
bases?
little boy barreled over here. I got to buy cat food. I need help.
I need help.
got
Someone
a
buy a
mortgage.
dunk, please. I got a mortgage.
Where are they, Tyler?
They have been kind of hard to find the first base, and I know you have something with Faye Webster right now.
Yeah, they're just hard to test and make at the level I want them to make them at. I hand test every piece, so we sell thousands every year, but like I said, I hand test every piece, and it's not the easiest yo-yo to hand test. So, and I try to hold them to like a degree of quality that is like above average for plastic yo-yos. But I don't know. It's something that the older I get, people care less about, or I don't know. That used to be a marketing factor for a company, is like, oh, these companies' yo-yos are dead smooth, and now it's just kind of like expected. Or I think people who are spending money on yo-yos understand that like plastic yo-yos aren't perfect, so they're not buying them to be perfect. So I don't know. I've even asked the factory I make them with to test them for me, and like they refuse just because they know that the level that I want them at would take a long time, and it's not even worth it for them to do it just because it would take them so long to test. But yeah, it runs me ragged every time I do it. It ends up being like a 2.5, 3 week process of me testing them, and then all the stores are like, "Where are yo-yos? What's going?" Everyone's nice about it, but everyone is like that guy, like the question where they're like, "Oh, they're like hard to get. What's going on?" And it's like, I promise they're coming, and like everyone just kind of assumes that they're gonna run out or whatever. And I don't know. It doesn't help that they go so fast when they're in stock, because I feel like everyone just. It's so good that people want it to play with regularly, and it's like it's supposed to be my intro yo-yo, you know, it's supposed to be the beginner recess yo-yo. So
yeah, it's inadvertently become something else, but that's a good thing. They're in demand. People want first bases. I want a first base. I want the Faye Webster edition that's coming out, and I just need one to play with. I have like the proto.
The Faye one looks cool.
I have the proto you gave me that glows in the black light, by the way. That clear yellow. It like glows.
Okay,
I'll show you. It's pretty cool. But
that's so. I love that color. It looks like straight up piss. But
yeah.
I remember going to nationals at those editions and being like, no one's gonna buy these ones, and literally in like 10 minutes.
I don't really have one that I can play with, or that I do play with. So I need to get another player model.
I have tons of
I know. I need a player one, but I love the first base.
The player way.
Player one. Yeah, so I don't know. I don't want to keep you too long, Tyler, but if you have any fun Yo-Yo Factory stories off the top of your head, I'm sure people would love to hear that.
Oh man.
Or just anything. You won Worlds in 2007, so we're going way back to the beginning of the interview. You started kind of serious 2005, then by 07 you're world champion and then national champion that same year, and then you joined Yo-Yo Factory. Did you use a Yo-Yo Factory for nationals, or did you use the freehand?
I used the freehand.
So you continued using the freehand, even though Duncan wasn't gonna.
I mean, I knew I wasn't
budge.
gonna get on before
Yeah.
nationals too, but I was like, yeah, fuck it.
You're used to it, right?
I was so dumb because retrospectively, had I used the Yo-Yo Factory yo-yo or
It
someone
would've
else,
been.
yeah, they probably would have paid me. You know, like
Yeah.
nationals wasn't an incentivized contest. Like when I won Worlds the Duncan yo-yo, I got like $500 in an MG, so like basically $1,000.
What color MDG did you get?
I wanted
Black?
blue, but I got black because they ran out of blue.
The black was the nicer finish. Anyway.
Yeah, I got black the
Do you
first
still have
time.
it?
No, I traded it for tons of shit. I forget, but.
Do you
And
have
then
an MG at all?
That person traded to Ben. No, I traded both of them for like tons of yo-yos.
So Ben has your black MG?
Yeah, isn't that so funny?
Damn. That's fucked up for some reason.
Because like the kid who I traded it to me for like a yellow and green freehand one and Oxy 4. Like a
That's
bunch of
worth it.
grails from our time. You know?
Yeah.
Like, because this guy had a bunch of shit and like he just wanted a really, it was right when titanium yo-yos started coming out and shit. So he was like, oh, like I want like this bunch of expensive yo-yos. I'm getting rid of all my other shit. And then like when Ben found out he had my MG, he was like, oh, I'll trade you whatever Yo-Yo Factory stuff you want. And he literally sent him 17 Yo-Yo Factory yo-yos for it. Yeah, he got like a bunch of 888s, a Skyline, all kinds of shit. And I got I got enough shit that I was happy at the time, but it was like just shit that made me happy. Like,
Yeah.
This guy got literally like,
I think I remember that. You had an Oxy all of a sudden. I remember that. I was like, damn.
Where the fuck did you get this from?
I got a fucking Oxy.
That was like having a Rolex back in the day.
It really
like,
was.
Where did you get this shit?
It wasn't that good functionally, but
Oh,
it
it's
was
awful.
just cool as hell to have
I
one.
never played with it when I got it either. I was like, this is so bad. Why did I do this?
They were just cool, man. They looked cool as hell.
I don't have I mean, you'd have to like prompt me on any kind of Yo-Yo Factory story. I'm trying to think of some good stories. When I was out in Kansas City with Trevor, I just hung out with his friend Robbie, and we just got high in an attic for like a week and a half. It was good times.
I was like fucking quiet though. I wasn't really talking at all. I was just kind of like there, like fucking starstruck, like ugh.
It was weird.
Yeah.
And I think you've also brought up like you could feel the tension between Clint and I at that point on the trip. Did you mention that? Yeah.
The weekend.
Say that again.
Oh, that was very much like, yeah. When I was there, I was like, oh, something's going on here.
We had been on like a 3-week tour. We went from Phoenix to Denver to Fort Collins, which is a town north of Denver, to Chicago, and then Kansas. Chicago is west of Kansas City, right? Or is it east?
Chicago is northeast of Kansas City.
Okay, I'm trying to think of what order it was in. It was like the 4th or 5th week of us being on the road. So like, everyone was kind of at their wits' end, but like, no one in that team is like mean to one another or whatever. So it wasn't that bad until like we got to the last leg of the tour and like we were in Kansas City and Clint like wasn't sleeping. He was literally just staying up all night playing Hearthstone on his phone, and like he would stay up till like 4 or 5 o'clock in the morning, and then we'd have a show at 8 a.m. at his fucking school for a bunch of kids. And he was like allergic to cats, and like the yo-yo player's house we were staying at had a bunch of cats. It was awful. And then like we decided to go grocery shopping that week because we were staying at someone's house so we could cook. And then like we were somewhere, like we got home late that day from Go Big, so we couldn't go to like a regular grocery store. We had to go to Walmart to get food that day. And I was really upset, and like Clint was like having a hard time understanding why. And I was explaining to him, I was like, well, like Walmart doesn't pay their employees enough. So in turn, that means they employ the largest like base of welfare recipients in the whole country. Like I was a welfare recipient as a kid too, but like because these people aren't paid a living wage, like they then have to apply for assistance from the government, and it creates like a really awful vicious cycle of like people who should be able to make a living wage, but Walmart not selling shit for a high enough cost is like, it's just bad for everyone, you know what I mean? And this guy has a fucking college degree, Clint. He should like understand all this. But he verbatim just says like, I only really care about me and like the people around me.
Oh my God.
And I was like, Clint, that's so Republican of you, dude. Like, seriously, that's disgusting you would even say that. And he's like, what? And I'm like, you gotta think about like what you do and how it affects people and like because what you do isn't just affecting you, it's affecting everyone around you. Like, and he just was so lost on him, you know what I mean? And that was like a really big like stake in our friendship, a divide or fork, whatever you want to say. Like we're cordial now and like we're still good friends, but like, and his dad is like a big Mitt Romney voter, like that was who ran against Obama during the second term, and like he was just comes from like a Republican household, so it's like, you know, that's just what he grew up believing in, and it's like fuck, that sucks. But
like, what was he, like 22 at the time?
no, like 18 or 19. Well, maybe 20. He definitely was not 21 yet.
Okay.
Because like I would have had to buy alcohol for everyone on the tour, and then he yeah, he was really young. But
Oh, it was just funny how I thought you were about to say something crazy, but then you.
no, I do want to tell another funny, crazy story about Clint. What were you gonna say?
Oh, nothing. I was just laughing at the fact that you sounded hesitant.
So earlier on that tour, God, what was the town before? Where the fuck did Dennis live? God damn it. It must have been in Kansas.
No,
Go ahead.
Dennis Houston.
Salt Lake City.
Yes. Yep.
We went there, and Clint and Joe. So it was different. I'm thinking of different tours. So we might have went to Salt Lake City before we went to Kansas. It wasn't a Denver trip, but we went to Salt Lake City, and we stayed at like the seediest motel in town. And like Joe met like some random mom with like a bunch of kids that was at the hotel. So like off bat, not a good scenario. And she was just like flirting with us and like coming up and like hitting the weed, and we were outside smoking weed and shit. And then like one night Joe's downstairs doing his laundry in like in the laundry room, and he comes up, he's like, yo man, like I need a condom. And I'm like, what the fuck? And he's like, I'm like, that mom wants to bang. And I was like, are you serious? Like go for it. And he like knows that I like just kept condoms with me on tour and shit. And he like goes into my bag and grabs me. He's like, all right, bet, I'll be back later. And then Clint was like, are you serious? You're just gonna let him go do that? And I was like, go to have protected consensual sex with a woman? Like, what are you talking about? Like,
Oh my God.
and he was disgusted. Like him and Clint were sharing a bed before that for whatever reason. And then like Clint refused to share a bed with him after that. And he like, at first it started as a joke, but then I think he was like genuinely disgusted after that. Like, and she was a good looking lady too. Like obviously not on, she was there with a guy too. That was the craziest part. And she's like, yeah, my husband just got out of jail.
Wow.
And Joe just like railed her behind a satellite dish behind a motel.
A satellite dish. Wow.
I know we had the Yo-Yo Factory van. I told him he could have used the Yo-Yo Factory van. That must have been ridiculous. Must have stopped that. Yeah. Oh man.
Holy shit. Yeah, some good stories from those tour days.
No one ever banged in the Yo-Yo Factory van. No.
Damn.
I somehow believe that, but
What's that?
That's crazy. Okay.
No. One time I was like very close, but it was with, I'm not going to divulge any names, but it was with like a girl who like worked for a toy store, and like it was a very successful account for Yo-Yo Factory. Like the owner of the toy store had shown me like Excel spreadsheets and like QuickBooks statements like that they paid to Yo-Yo Factory. Like, look, we sold 6,000 velocities last year. And I'm like, I cannot bang this guy's daughter in the Yo-Yo Factory, man. Like, this is not okay. That was like the first time in my life where I was like, I have to be responsible with this. Like, I can't like fuck, not like with that job, but just in general, you know what I mean? Like,
it's a life lesson.
Yeah.
There you go.
It's like, damn, I could fuck up a big bag for Yo-Yo Factory here. I'm not going to be that guy. Is everything okay? What are you looking at?
Oh no, so I got a text.
Oh.
Yeah.
Go ahead and answer it.
Why don't you read it out loud for the class?
Yeah,
Mr.
read it out loud,
Boice?
Trevor.
Did you have to do that in school, Trevor? What was the worst trouble you ever got in?
Really not at all. I mean, I was one of those kids that was like, I didn't take pride in it, but I was just like, I will never go to the principal's office. Like,
Yeah, there too.
and I didn't. And now, like, looking back, it's like, I should have done something. Like, why didn't I, like, ever?
Yeah, because when you're a kid, you get away with everything. Like, you can't, like, nothing really, you're scot-free.
But I wouldn't have done anything that bad. No, I never really got in trouble in school. No, like, I think, no, I'm honestly struggling to come up with something. Yeah.
That's funny. I got in-school suspension when what's that? Say it? Sorry.
No, it's like, I resent that. Like, I want to have, like, a good story, but, no.
They're good stories.
Cool.
You were up till 5 o'clock in the morning last night.
Yeah, you had a crazy night last night, huh?
Oh, no, I was up till 10.
PM or AM?
Yeah.
Hey.
No, I mean, off mic, we could.
Yeah, we'll have to hear it.
Yeah, no, I know. It's just funny. You're like, I have no crazy stories when I'm 16 and couldn't have done anything. Man, I wish I would have gone to the principal's office. Like,
I mean, I'll tell you, like, stories that I did when I was, like, 18, 19.
oh,
like,
I know what to hear about young Trev.
my friends and I, like, we would all hang out at this, like, trailer, like, my friends.
Oh, I love these stories.
Yeah, classic.
Oh, yeah. It was, everyone would go there to smoke weed. Like, she was cool. Like, we would, like, smoke with her. And, I mean, cool about.
Yeah. Sorry about that, Trevor.
No, you're good.
Dookie. You can put him on if you want. I don't know if that'll interrupt this. Try it.
Hey, bud.
What's up, dude?
Oh shit.
Do you know who this is? Do you know Trevor?
Put it up on the camera.
What's
Hold on, I can't really see him that well.
We're recording a podcast. Can you see him, Trevor, or no?
Mm-mm.
Can you see us
We
right
got
now?
double. No.
I mean, when you put it up, like, you had to, like, raise it higher.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
There we go.
Okay, yeah.
Duke called. When Duke calls.
Are you okay, David?
Oh,
Yeah. Yes.
Great. I just wanted to see what the heck was going on with you guys, but you seem to be in the middle of it.
We can interview you next if you want. If you want to do a Skype call. We're just recording podcasts, YOYO podcasts.
I'm down.
All right. Yeah, we'll do something with you, maybe.
Aren't Paulo and Curdy and everyone there right now, or?
So, Curdy's gonna be here. Shit, Curdy's supposed to be here today.
Yeah.
Holy shit, yeah, no, they went back. So,
How much THC have you?
You ready for the whole story? You ready for the whole spiel?
Sure, why not?
Sure, yeah.
At one point, like, 9 roommates, and my rent was like $185.
Holy shit.
Yeah.
That's incredible.
Yeah. It was bad. I mean, at the time I didn't care because I was, like, drinking a lot. But then I started having, like, stomach problems, and, like, I went on that, like, crazy ass diet. And after that started happening, and, like, I stopped drinking, like, cold turkey, I was like, I fucking hate all of you. and I was just like, now that I have to, like, cook my own food and shit, I'm just like, you motherfuckers are so irresponsible. He was a good, but the rest of them sucked.
Interesting. What are you drinking now?
Cherries.
Oh shit, Sailor Jerry's.
Shatterproof bottle. Why?
Got the true alcoholic size, the fifth.
Yeah.
Or
Yeah.
not fifth, the pint.
The pint that you get from the gas station, yeah.
Damn.
Yeah, that was a weird thing to be visiting the East Coast. It's like
You can't get liquor.
or at a gas station at 1:30.
No, you can't. It's impossible. Tyler's taking dabs.
Oh.
Yeah, all those cookie and backpack moisture.
I don't know if we'll ever get back.
The epitome of like, I don't want.
No. Dude, I do have some fucking wild ass stories from that trailer. Like,
Yeah.
I'll be right back. I'll be getting the beer.
She got a pig, like just a straight up pig, and she was like, "It's a teacup. It's never gonna grow." And I'm just like, "That's not a thing. That doesn't exist. It's gonna grow to be a giant ass pig."
Yeah.
We all hated it. Like, it would piss on the floor constantly, and we would like yell at it. It'd be like, it was called. His name was Piggy Smalls, and he would pee. It would be like, "Fuck you, blah blah blah," like, "Fucking asshole, blah blah." We would just scream at this pig constantly. We hated it, and he hated us. And then years later, like I found out that like pigs are like smarter than dogs. So I was just, oh, that pig for sure hated us and was like aware.
Wow.
And like,
that's incredible.
if you picked him up, he would like scream bloody murder, like on the and, like, people would come over because like always just random people coming through to like buy drugs, like whatever, and people would be like, can I pick him up? Oh my god, he's so cute. And we'd be like, yeah, pick him up. And then this person would, whoever would pick them up, and just like, yeah. And there was one night where the pig escaped the trailer and like ran to the other side of the trailer park, and this was at 3 a.m, and my friend's brother had to like run across the trailer park and pick up this pig and like run back to the trailer, and this pig was just screaming the entire time.
That's insane.
Yeah.
Piggy Smalls. There was a pig named Piggy Smalls. This trailer that Trevor used to hang out at.
Yeah.
What's the position from your regular life?
Well, that's the thing. A friend of mine, because like it's a moment of our lives that we all kind of like look back on, like, damn, we all used to just fucking hang out at this trailer and like smoke hookah and like weed and like whatever, and it was just disgusting in there. And my friend was like, oh yeah, a lot of people did a lot of unlearning at the trailer, like
Unlearning.
Yeah.
graduate high school, and it's like you go there to like get into fucking debauchery that you like weren't allowed to do because like you grew up in this, it's like a suburb of Omaha called Millard, and Millard's just like, you know, it's just like it's like the suburbs. But in any case, no, the story I was telling before was like sometimes we'd all just be hanging out at the trailer and like just fucking bored. We would take a bottle and we would just make a Molotov cocktail. We would walk we would walk to a bridge that was nearby, and we would go under the bridge and we would just light it up and we would throw it at the wall and we would look at it for 20 seconds like, yeah, Molotov.
That's fun.
That's dope.
Yeah. And then there was this like Armenian dude that would come around, and like English was like his second language, and he was like, hey, are you guys gonna do a Mazel Tov cocktail tonight?
Mazel Tov cocktail.
Mazel Tov.
We were like laughing so fucking hard in his face, and he was like, shut up, English isn't.
Like, you're a funny guy. Shut up, everyone, shut up.
Damn.
Yeah, we would just commit felonies. Not really. I mean, that was really the only like bad thing we did. I mean, there was also a lot of just like
some light vandalism.
Oh yeah, for sure. Yeah. But in any case,
It's a good story. I got some stories, but I'm gonna save them for a different episode. Okay. I got to keep some stuff.
Yeah.
For the future here.
I
can't
like
burn it all.
When kids are in those situations, though, and you have like the wherewithal to realize that you're in those fucked up situations, you can kind of like take it what it is, or you're like, damn, this is gnarly. I'm so glad this isn't my real life. And then you like just go back to your regular life and you're like,
yeah.
Say that, sorry.
No, I said yeah 5 or 6 times.
I stuttered, yeah.
Yeah.
My neighbor when I was a kid was like that. He was just like very, I don't want to call him at-risk youth because he was my fucking neighbor. I wouldn't really consider myself at-risk youth, but like just obviously like trying drugs really early, and like his mom was cool with him drinking at the house and shit. But he lived two doors down from me, and it's like I'd go down to his house and like hang out and party and be like, try alcohol when I was 15, 16, but like just try a drink or two and be like, this isn't for me, because I was like old enough to be like, oh, I can't handle this yet. Like I'm way too immature. Like I don't know what to do, and like, but so many other kids my age are just like reveling in it, and it's like, god damn, like. I wonder what the disconnect is, because, like, I don't know. It just caused me so much anxiety to think about that. Like, damn, this could really fuck up my life if I did this right now. Versus, like, everyone else there that was just like, oh, cool, whatever, who cares? Like,
Yeah, I don't know what that is.
Sorry, what was that?
What makes it different for some people?
Yeah.
I chose to go down the one path for sure, the opposite of you at that age, and I don't know what it was. It wasn't upbringing or anything.
Right,
I had
yeah, because you had a great upbringing.
So it was just something there.
Yeah.
I don't know.
A small town mentality is like
Yeah, it can
big
feel
catalyst
hopeless.
to all of it, yeah.
It can feel boring. So maybe combination of hopelessness and boredom makes you want to like shake things up a bit. But
have you ever listened to that Bruce Springsteen song "Glory Days"?
yeah,
that shit is so sad.
Yeah,
it's just
it
like
is a sad song.
He's just talking to. It's like it sounds really upbeat, and it's like it's a pretty good song all in all. But like, just every verse is like him meeting with a friend from high school, and they're talking about them peaking in high school, and it's like he doesn't say this in the song, but it's like. Realistically, he's Bruce fucking Springsteen going back to small. Where is he from? Asbury Park, right?
Yeah, I think
he's
so.
from some shit beach town in Jersey where like there's nothing to do but like sling pizza and cotton candy and like change tires, and like everyone who peaked in high school is just like drinking, and he's like, yeah, like remember when like he goes in and he's like, I started talking to this guy, and like we both started talking about memories, and then he just started going off about playing football. Oh, glory days. And then it's like the same thing. He's like, oh, Becky, she was a cheerleader, and then she was married, but then she got divorced. It's been about 3 years now, and he doesn't even come see the kids, but oh, glory days. It's just like, God, the small towns suck dick, dude.
Yeah.
Like, this is awful. Like, but so many people, my uncle and I butt heads about that a lot. He's a firefighter, but he was like a firefighter for 25 years, and now he works at like a privatized internal fire company at a chemical processing plant where like
Wow.
in case they have like workplace injuries, they like have a firefighting staff like on hand.
It's the dream.
Yeah, and but like, if you're a crane operator there, you probably make like 110 grand a year, but all you're doing is literally operating a crane back and forth, and like eventually that's going to be automated, you know what I mean? And my uncle loves to like bring that up to like people who are like considering what to do with their lives, like going to college or like they just finished college. I was like, oh, you could operate a crane at the Dow factory, like 110 grand a year. And it's like, yeah, but that's like all you got to do for the rest of your life is operate a crane, and like not really like in a comfortable schedule. You're not going to be operating a crane for like a couple hours a day and get paid a premium. You're going to be like operating a crane for 8-10 hours a day, moving fucking acetone from point A to point B. And like, it's a living, like I get it, but it's just like people wonder why so many Americans are depressed or like don't see,
Yeah.
I don't know. People were okay with these things in the 50s and 60s because you could have those jobs and get paid a living and everyone was happy and comfortable, and like now it's like you have to push yourself to those extremes to make a living. Like you're a fucking crane operator at a chemical processing plant to make good money. Like
110, that's like pretty nice. Like
that's with overtime, and like it's probably like whatever 70-80 base. It's still great. Like I'm not shitting on that. It's just like
if I made 80K a year, I would be like,
I'd be set.
yeah, exactly. Fucking ecstatic. Like,
Yeah.
No, I mean I totally get what you guys are saying. Like I don't $80,000 a year, but like I just mean it like
No, I know what you're saying.
I
It's
guess
not going
just
to last forever.
the
it
happiness,
will become
yeah.
automated.
Well, not that, just like your satisfaction with the job. Like, I don't know.
Yeah, it probably doesn't feel as fulfilling.
Yeah. Like, a job is a job. I get it. Like, and people are okay with having, like, the same job forever. And, like, I don't know. Like, I'm okay with that, too. But it's just, like, when people make that seem like that's a dream or, like, that's something, like, a lot of people aspire to, it's like, no, that's just, like, how a lot of people end up. Or, like, I don't know. And it's not a bad thing. That's the majority of Americans. And, like, I don't know. Like, as someone who's independently employed, like, I think about it on a regular basis, just, like, how much easier it would be to, like, get a job where I knew that, like, oh, I'm getting a paycheck next week. Or, like, yeah. Like, I don't have to worry about what I'm doing tomorrow. It's just going to be at the office and there for me ready to do. So, like, I understand all that part, but it's like, I don't know. There's a reason why everyone's, like, leaving work now and everyone's okay with not working all of a sudden. And, like, it's not everyone. And I know that that's a very rare privilege instance. People are allowed to do that. But,
well, it's because we were given participation trophies.
All right, this podcast is turning into Joe Rogan.
You're right, though, Trevor. You're
Get
right.
this wrangled in here.
When I was young.
And these vaccines.
I love when boomers say that, and then I'm like, yo, y'all gave us those trophies. Like, you act like an 8-year-old was like, I deserve a participation trophy. It's like, no, you're 45-year-old bald ass that had no other ideas for activities, or like, duh, you suck at sports, but here's a trophy anyway. Like, instead of thinking like, maybe they would excel at something else.
Paid a company to make those. We didn't.
You know, the three of us, did either of you two ever get, like, a participation trophy growing up? Did you?
Yeah.
Really? I don't think I ever did.
At, like, Little League, yeah.
Okay.
They would give everyone a trophy, yeah, because...
Yeah, everyone got one, right? And there was no, like, oh, this person scored more points. The coach had to, like, I remember getting mine, and, like, the coach had to, like, have a compliment sandwich for everyone, you know what I mean? Like, oh, they had a rough start, but they pulled through, whatever. And, like, his compliment for mine was like, I remember one time Tyler hit a ball that was this slow, must have been 4 inches off the ground. Give it up for Tyler. It was like a whole fucking season. Jesus Christ.
I mean, I played basketball. My parents, like, I mean, I didn't want. My parents were just like, "You're playing sports," and I was like, "I don't want to do this. I want to be able."
Sorry.
Gosh, but I have to fucking play basketball. Like, I really hated it, and I did not put forth, like, any effort. I literally played for 3 seasons, and I don't think I scored a single basket.
What the hell? What did you do the whole time?
Like, we were so fucking bad, and I don't remember ever getting any kind of, like, participation trophy or, like, recognition. Or if we did, I remember it, like, ringing hollow, like. But yeah, just
maybe
like
you're a janitor or something. Maybe they didn't know you were on the team.
You had a mustache back then.
Yeah.
I remember, like, this girl that I had a crush on in the 5th grade, like, her teasing me, like, oh, you have hair, like, on your face, like, on your upper lip a little bit. Like, she was, like, making fun of me about it. I was like,
I misgendered a kid at a camp 2 weeks ago. I felt awful.
Oh,
The first time I've ever done this. It was like a 12-year-old girl with armpit hair. What's that?
It's gonna happen. Like,
yeah, and she was wearing, like, gender-neutral clothing with, like, a Tegan and Sarah haircut. And and she was with a group of girls, so I was like, normally I call everyone friends, so that way this never happens, you know what I mean? Like, everyone's friends, so that way that no one gets misgendered. But it was a group of, like, 19 girls, and then one girl who had, like, a crew cut and armpit hair and, like, more armpit and leg hair than I have. Like, you guys don't know that I have very little hair, but, like, she had enough that I was like, this is probably a little boy, you know what I mean? So I was like, oh, it's like explaining how to roll the yo-yo. So everyone's got to, like, roll it over your finger, girls and boy. And, like, I did this like 3 or 4 times. And then they're like, oh, that's a girl, actually. Like, you know, that's a girl, right? I'm like, oh my gosh, I'm so sorry. Like, when I was your age, I had really long hair and everyone used to misgender me as a boy. Like, I know how it feels. Like, I'm so sorry. That's embarrassing. Like, I'm really sorry. And then she was like, it's okay. And then a couple kids came late, and then all the kids were, like, canoodling with their yo-yos and shit, and they're like, yeah, earlier, the yo-yo guy, like, misgendered Holly. Can you believe it? Like, and then she was like, yeah, and then the archery guy did too, and the lunch lady did, and the bus driver did too. And I was like, oh no, I feel so bad. This poor little girl's just like going around being misgendered all day. Like, what an awful fucking life to live. Like,
yeah,
subjected to that all day.
I like correct it, use the correct gender, and like don't apologize profusely. Just be like, oh, cool, like yeah, you know, whatever. Like, it's like I feel like if you like apologize too hard, then it's just like, all right, you're projecting your like.
It's performative, yeah.
It's like I personally like, yeah, it for sure.
I just felt like because it was a kid, I felt bad. You know what I mean? Like when it's an adult, I've never done that to an adult, to be honest.
Mm-hmm.
Actually, one time when I was like 21, I went to a gay wedding right after Obama legalized gay marriage, and there was a trans lady there who was like transitioning from a man to a woman, and she was like showing me pictures of her friends, and they were like wearing a similar outfit, and I asked if it was her, but it was like a natural born woman, I guess. Something like they made a joke about it afterwards, and I was like, oh god, like definitely not saying the right things right. It's just so mortifying when you like misgender someone, you know what I mean?
Oh yeah.
Anyway.
Like you're deep in thought. You've
What? Oh
no. Jake's like frozen.
Oh no, I don't know what to say. I don't know.
Oh yeah. We can cut this part out of the podcast.
Caitlyn Jenner. He wrote in Caitlyn Jenner in the
Did you write or something
for the president. You can write in whoever you want for president.
Yeah, I wrote in Caitlyn Jenner.
Kanye.
Kanye. I voted for Kanye.
Yeah.
Golly, we've been talking for probably 2 hours now.
We're gonna cut a good chunk, but
yeah.
Have you had any good dreams, Trevor? Do you like taking naps?
I will say, like, with night shift, like I get off and I don't usually go to bed till like 3 or 4 in the morning, and then I get up around like 8 or 9, fuck around on my phone for like a half hour to an hour, and then I go back to bed, and like that's when I get like fucking wild, like vivid ass dreams. And like I've basically been doing that for like a year. Like every day I just have like crazy ass dreams.
What do you dream about?
Oh, everything. I mean, I constantly dream about like being in college and like not making it to a certain class, or like there's always like one course that like I forget that I was even in the class, and like I mean, yeah, it's all like, I mean, again, it's my insecurity about the fact that I dropped out of college is why.
Yeah, I was gonna say you dropped out of college. Why are you worried about that?
That's anxiety dreams. That's classic, dude. I have those too. All of these.
But I have work nightmares a lot, like in the mornings when I take a nap. Like I'll be like, a big one is like I'll have a press set up like in a house, like in my parents' house, like literally like taking work home with you, like hell, Trevor, you know, we got this order. It's like we gotta get it out ASAP. Like here's the portable press. You gotta set it up in your like living room, and like
Mom's like making pancakes. You're like, I gotta print these Fleetwood Mac t-shirts. I'm calibrating this press, Mom.
I'm like printing shirts on the press, or like I'll be working on like the direct to garment press. I think there was one where like there were 2 direct to garment presses, and like the inks were running out on like both, and like I went to like the storage closet, and like there were no inks left, and like if there's no ink, then like the heads dry out, and like it's a huge deal. And
It's
like
classic anxiety dreams. You're anxious, man.
Yeah. Oh yeah.
You need to up the Zoloft.
Fuck, sorry. No, I remember talking to my dad. I was like, oh yeah, you know, I have like nightmares about work, and he was like, oh yeah, that's never gonna go away. He's like, I'm retired for like 10 years, and like I still have like nightmares about being at my job. And
I just have nightmares about my teeth getting loose.
yeah.
single tooth will get loose, and I'll feel it feels so real, and then my tooth will come out, and I'll be like, "Why am I losing a tooth as an adult?" It's a bad feeling, really bad feeling.
Yeah, that's
That's my only recurring dream that I have, is losing a tooth.
I have awful work dreams like that. Or I just dream.
Like you have
someone 600 faces.
No, nothing like that. Just me like completely missing a show or something. Or
you misgender a kid and he stabs you, or he starts shooting up your fucking show. It's like, that's a real fear you can have now, is school shootings.
Yeah, I wonder when I'm gonna experience my. I've only seen one fight at a yo-yo show ever.
What caused the fight?
Nothing. Kids from the hood that were excited, and one was like pushing the other, and like they were in like 5th grade, so like it wasn't that serious. Like teachers broke it up very quick, and then we're like, "We can send you home. We can send you both home."
Thankfully, a gun didn't get involved. Jesus.
Wait, can I tell a fucking crazy story?
About yes.
Their kid that like elementary, middle, and high school with, his name was Brighton, and he was like super, like really just like, in any case, yeah, like always like blurt shit out and like, but
what he was what?
He was ornery, just like.
Oh. Sounded like you said he was super horny or something.
Ornery.
He was no.
What my mom says about.
I mean, I guess but no, he after I graduated, he like when we were both 19, he went to prison for life for he robbed a pizza delivery guy, and he had stabbed this pizza delivery guy, and he stabbed him like 72 times.
Why?
For like literally like $40. And so like yeah, he's in prison for life. And then my mom, weeks later, my mom's like, "Trevor, look." And she showed me her scrapbook. And when we were in Halloween, when we were in elementary school for Halloween, this kid that went to prison for life, his costume was like an orange prison jumpsuit.
Wow.
Yeah.
That's pretty great, though. That's funny as hell.
Yeah.
So you've met a murderer.
I guess, yeah. I talked to a guy who took human life and is now.
It's a crazy feeling. I've met 7 murderers. I have a note on my phone.
What? I've met 7 murderers.
Yeah, I've met 7 murders. I've met 1 murdered person. I've met 5 suicides and then other deaths. A bunch of overdoses.
This is a great list.
It's
a fucked up list. Yard, that's what it's called. No,
but look at the victims: ex-wife, girlfriend, wife, girlfriend, wife. It's all men killing. It's horrifying.
Jesus.
Not all. There's some that aren't, but yeah.
You know these people? You went to school with them or what?
I went to school with them. Let's see.
Was any of them manslaughter?
Gordon Rohrbaugh was just. He killed his ex-wife. He just was a kid that I didn't go. He went to the school near me, so we all hung out together. Andrew Geisinger, same thing. He went to the same school Gordon went to. He just stabbed a stranger at a party. Chris Tucker went to my high school, so I knew him through high school.
Not the Chris Tucker. But
yeah, right? Isn't that funny?
Chris Tucker, that was on the plane with Jeff Epstein.
Yeah. White Chris Tucker. He gouged the eyes.
That's a whole podcast in itself, though.
I could go through the stories. It's very morbid, obviously, but it's something interesting to me because it's weird to meet someone who's capable of that. You know what I mean? Like, it's really bizarre.
Yeah, to think about that.
And sad, obviously tragic, but it happens in life, and I've encountered people.
There
was the yo-yo murderer.
Yes. Oh, yeah. Tell that.
Murdered a child.
Yeah.
Not a good thing to talk about. I don't know.
I got
so bad. This podcast has gone off the rails.
No, it's great.
But
That's the whole
There is a
point.
yo-yo player who is a known yo-yo player who murdered a kid in California and got caught and is in prison for
There's
life.
a picture of him learning a trick from Ricardo at BAC.
Yeah.
Ricardo from Italy, yeah.
It's
Imagine that kid in the little study doing a trick. Trevor's face. I'm sorry.
You're going to send a bunch of first bases to this guy in prison.
God, no.
That
Oh,
guy,
probably
there's
met
also
him.
a murder victim. What was that kid from Arizona that got murdered?
Nate DeWitt.
Yeah,
Right.
He worked at Yo-Yo Factory for a short period of time. I'm
right.
very familiar
And that was
with
like
him.
drug related probably, but they haven't
Yeah.
been caught. It's still unsolved.
Wow. Hey, let's get this to the true crime podcast.
We should start a podcast where we solve
the
it.
Nathan DeWitt murder.
It could be like Serial.
We all moved to Phoenix for a year
Yeah.
trying to solve it.
We got music now.
Here's a podcast shout out. The Onion had a podcast that's a parody of like true crime podcasts. It's called A Very Fatal Murder.
Very good.
I mean, if you're familiar with like true crime podcasts at all, like
Oh yeah.
that's really fucking nails it. It's super, super, super funny.
All right, check it out.
True.
Very
I-
good.
Go back and re-listen. It's been a couple of years. Also, it's been a while since I went through Analyze Fish.
Dude, Analyze Fish is the best. Shout out Harris Whittles, the
Yeah.
best comedian. If anyone's a Fish fan or not a Fish fan, the band Fish, not the food, check out Analyze Fish. Very funny podcast from like 2014 where they go through, one guy's a Fish fan and the other guy's not a Fish fan, and he plays tracks from Fish and tries to convince him that it's a good band, and it sounds good. It's such a good it's like the best podcast. Yeah, I hate Fish, but it got me to like listen to them a little bit.
And at one point, they take like microphones and recording equipment, and they go to a Fish show in New York at Madison Square Garden, and it is a fascinating podcast.
They take drugs, they take like Molly and mushrooms and acid, and like it's real too. It's the guy from what's that guy?
Scott Ackerman.
His other show. His other podcast, Comedy Bang Bang.
Yeah, the host of Bang Bang, Scott Ackerman.
He's a very famous comedian himself.
Yeah.
And he wrote for like Mr. Show and stuff, but very good podcast to Analyze Fish. And I'm gonna check out A Very Fatal Murder. That sounds funny.
Oh,
Good Lord. What a journey this has been.
Trevor,
We're broganing it.
Yeah, we are.
how do you feel about online worlds accepting Russian players?
Oh, punish every Russian person. No, weird. Like, what is Putin? Is that going to come across his desk that like,
Yeah.
they're not accepting Russia? Is that going to be the straw that breaks the camel's
Yo-Yo
back?
players are the highest paid operatives in Russian government. Also,
Yeah, sure. And it's like you're punishing people that have like no actual involvement. Like most people in Russia
That's how I feel, yeah.
think it's cool. Like,
They're probably against what.
yeah,
Like, what if America was punished for its war crimes?
I was gonna bring up. Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like, imagine all the shit we do. It's like you guys drone struck a fucking wedding, so you can't be in the World Yo-Yo Contest. There would be no World Yo-Yo Contest. Yeah, no Gentry, no Evan, no nothing. Like, we're far worse in many ways than Russia is. So it's a little absurd if you really think about it big picture, but I sort of understand, like, small picture maybe where they're coming from, but it's horrifying what's happening, obviously.
It's just like a weird, not even to call it a gesture, it's just like who's that even for? Like,
yeah, exactly.
So I'm hypothesizing it's because Czechoslovakia was like behind the Iron Curtain. It was a USSR country before USSR fell. So I'm sure that's why and the European Yo-Yo League is ran by they're from the Czech Republic, you know what I mean? It's a private institution or whatever, even if it's a charity or if nonprofit. So it's like they should do whatever they want and they feel is necessary, because people can choose to start their own and compete wherever they want. You know what I mean? But at the same time, like, yeah, it's just wild how everyone's taking a stance on it, and it's like,
some 21-year-old Russian guy that's sick at yo-yoing, that's probably not even that tuned into politics in his own country. It's like, you're gonna bar him from this contest.
I don't even think any Russian players are planning on going to EYYC. Like, they don't really travel outside of their country like that. Like,
yeah, I'm not even sure like what the travel situation is with like Russia right now.
Like maybe they would, but it's like particularly only 1 or 2 or 3 dudes. So it's like you're really only telling a handful of dudes, like, nope, you gotta stay home. Like, sorry, you're not welcome here. It's like,
it's also like, as an aside, like, if
so we can't feel anything. Sorry.
On Instagram and I see them yo-yo, like, I can tell if they're from Russia. Like, so, like, I really love that. Like, Russia has really
dude, since
similar
2000,
style, yeah.
Since the early 2000s, there was Russian videos coming out of Russia. Do you remember really early Russian? It was like, I always forget the guy's name, Pollock or something, but he was incredible. Like 2004 era guy.
Oh, but same thing with Poland.
Yeah, the Polish guys too. Always had a very distinct regional style, which is cool.
Because, I mean, things have become very, not very homogenized, but more homogenized than they used to be in the past. Like, Miguel and like the Texas guys had their kind of distinctive style, and they were influencing each other clearly. And then the Spin Docs guys had their own kind of thing going on. And then, of course, like you, Tyler, on the East Coast, like everyone over there in like a certain era.
I think that even the Midwest too, like everyone in Iowa and Minnesota area. But I think that used to come with people hanging out and yo-yoing too, where like, people were more inspired by who was around them versus like, oh, I'm just watching online and everyone is.
And it's like we're yo-yo people, so like most of the accounts that we follow, we're just like looking at tricks when we're on Instagram, and like that stuff seeps into your brain. And like, I've never been a guy that can like watch a video and be like, I'm gonna learn this trick, but the trick that I watched might come up years later just because it's there. There's so much content and there's so much just that. So you're just like, when you're scrolling through Instagram, you're just like fucking like mainlining like yo-yo, like,
yeah.
And that's part of like the homogenization.
You're very right.
Yeah.
And I wonder if, as people get more involved in yo-yo now, if they'll care less about competing and they just want to become influencers. You know what I mean?
Yeah, like Angelo, he's not a top competitor, really.
Yeah, I mean, he's probably.
Yeah.
But yeah, no, he's a TikTok Reels guy, and he is very much he's at the forefront. He's done it the best so far,
for sure. I don't know why that's happening.
What did you say? The last sentence?
Oh, am I like too far away from the mic?
No, it's fine. It just kept cutting out.
No.
Like it.
No, I'm just like, Angelo's like done TikTok and Reels the most effectively so far. Like,
yeah, I agree.
I have to say about that.
Lieutenant.
I'm out of topics.
Oh.
Can I tell you?
We got to wrap this up.
Oh, fuck. Yeah, it'll probably be about an hour and a half.
Chuck Norris been played out for forever, but I did hear one on a podcast that made me laugh pretty hard. It was Chuck Norris narrates Morgan Freeman's thoughts.
Huh.
Crickets. All right. Let's end the podcast.
I'm trying to picture Morgan Freeman's thoughts. I can't picture.
I don't think he lives that exciting of a life. He probably lives like an old black guy life.
Wait, do you not remember Chuck Norris jokes?
No, I do, but like Morgan Freeman is known for his voice, so it would be like Morgan Freeman narrating Chuck Norris's life. Or
Yeah, I
thoughts.
can't think of Chuck Norris's voice.
That's the joke, is that
Oh.
he's the guy that has like the magical golden voice. He's always voicing God.
Right.
But even still, Chuck Norris is
Chuck Norris. Oh, I get it now.
Narrating.
Yeah, it's like a Chuck Norris joke. Like Chuck Norris. What's another Chuck Norris joke?
Chuck Norris is a push-up. He's pushing the earth down.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So Chuck Norris narrates Morgan Freeman's thoughts because Morgan Freeman narrates so many people's thoughts in movies and stuff.
Yeah.
I get it now.
Man.
Sorry, you had to explain it.
The joke dissection.
I'm on board. Tyler will get it soon. We're gonna get it. All of us.
Your mama's so fat, when she sits around the house, she sits around the house.
Around the house. That's a classic. Chuck Norris house. Chuck Norris. Yeah, right? She sits around the Norris's house.
Yeah.
Welcome to Mickey House.
Welcome to Mickey House. All right, we need to do some video.
Yeah.
We need to do some video commentaries. Tyler and I are going to do some video commentaries. We're going to do Mickey House, 2004 Nationals, and Duncan Trick CD. So you have that to look forward to. And you can look forward to buying a dunk rebound from my website or from Yo-Yo Sam. It's a great thing to look forward to.
They're
BullockArt.com.
Jake Bullock Art.
podcast in full. You are contractually obliged to pay for a dunk rebound. So
Kind of. I mean,
You've gotten to this point in the podcast.
Yeah.
You owe me $60.
you should help out.
or
Like
You should help us because we're working hard over here.
Like I've been sleeping on your couch for 2 weeks.
Yeah.
You should help out.
Tyler's been on my floor for 6 months now, and we're trying to get him one of those blow-up mattresses. What are those called? Air mattress.
I'm sleeping.
yeah,
I'm not sure where it's from.
Yeah.
The Orient of Asian
My cat
Pacific
keeps
country.
shitting all over him while I sleep. It's fucking crazy. We need help over here. All we have is a camera and a laptop and a bunch of lights and
I'm
a
trying to be a
soundboard.
cam girl. I'm telling everyone.
Yeah.
Be a cam girl.
OnlyFans coming soon. Patreon coming soon. GoFundMe coming soon. Kickstarter coming soon. But we're going to have all 4 of those going, collecting as much money as we can to bring you this content. Because this shit ain't free.
No, nothing is
Nothing
free.
in life is free, especially something as fun as this.
add us on Zanga.
Zanga, MySpace.
Yeah.
What's the one
Black Planet.
that like professionals use?
Oh,
Friendster.
Friendster. LinkedIn.
LinkedIn, yes. Add us on LinkedIn. Tag us.
My LinkedIn is just for my gooch. That's who's on it. Just a
My
picture of my gooch.
It's been unemployed for 10 years.
CEO of Recess.
There's a lot of stuff coming. A lot of stuff going on. This has been a great episode of Yo-Yo Radio. Radio Yo-Yo.
I just
Not
have
radio. We can't. I considered just stealing Yo-Yo Radio.
Yeah, you should, dude.
I should, honestly.
I consider.
But we're just gonna be Radio Yo-Yo for now. Radio Yo-Yo. Radio Yo-Yo.
yeah.
Uh,
It's it's less money if we print T-shirts. You know, it's less letters.
A bunch of Y's, yeah.
Yeah.
We print T-shirts like ASAP because people are gonna really want them real bad after this one. After they hear this, they're gonna be dying to have a.
No, but they'll do a Guinness World Record for anything. Surely there must be some sort of Guinness World Record for like longest recorded podcast, right?
Well, yeah, but Tom Sharpling just did 24 hours of the best show.
Right.
Yeah, a
People have
24-hour
done 24
show.
hours a lot, yeah.
We can do that easy. You just
know
get
what?
some of that, whatever you were doing last night, and we'll just do that.
Good times. That's
It'll
what
be
it is.
easy.
You
You
just
get
have
some
a
of
lot
that
of good times,
You just get some good times, and we'll have a good time.
and they never end. That's
Holy shit!
all right, Trevor. Be safe.
Thank you for doing
No,
that.
we can stop
You
recording.
want to tell us what happened off air now? How was your night?
I'll stop recording now. Hold on.